starting to run away in the Patrick division. And the Islanders, with all of the problems they've had, they can do themselves a big favor. They're still in second place. If they get 2 more points, they're 51. They're only 5 behind the first place team. And that's not too bad when you look at a team that has had a lot of problems, particularly on the road. They've been pretty good at home.
Yeah, they have much better at home than on the road recently. As far as tonight's matchups, there are a couple of other Patrick Division teams in action. Take a look at the schedule. Buffalo is at Washington tonight. The Caps have won 4 in a row on home ice, but Buffalo has beaten Washington twice this season. Pittsburgh at Montreal, that's the 4th game of a road trip for the Penguins. They could be perfect with a win in that one. Minnesota's at Hartford, St. Louis playing at Quebec, and Chicago in Toronto, where the Maple Leafs are trying to end a 13-game non-winning streak. Coming up here at the Coliseum, the Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers back with the opening face-off right after these messages.
Life after Coffey.
Well, first of all, Paul Coffey's accomplishments speak for themselves. He's a quality hockey player, and when you lose a player of his caliber, it's going to be there's going to be a difference. But I think without underestimating his talents, I think we're a better team defensively right now. We've had to concentrate a little more on our discipline, and in the last few months, it's paid dividends. We miss Paul's offensive thrust, but we're a better hockey team defensively.
What will happen in the playoffs when you go up against some of the really tough teams and you're going to need that man on the power play? How is it going to be adjusting?
Well, in past years, come playoff time, it takes 20 hockey players to win a Stanley Cup, and although Paul Coffey is just another trump card that the Oilers could throw at the opposition, we're not going to have him this year, so I think we're going to rely more on Messier and Anderson and Curry to score the goals. But a young defenseman by the name of Steve Smith, who's played exceptionally well for us, and by the time the season's over, might have 20 goals, could pick up where Paul Coffey left off on the power play.
Well, only time will tell how the Oilers can manage without Paul Coffey, but let's take a look at the scratches for tonight's game. On the Oilers, of course, Gretzky, Chris Joseph, Steve Graves, and Norman Lacombe. And on the New York Islanders, of course, Mike Bossy, Neil Coulter, Brian Curran, Patrick Flatley, at least a couple of weeks away, and Kenny Morrow. So we have a team tonight, an Edmonton hockey team, that's going to be trying to take over the first place in the Smythe division from the Calgary Flames. Now, you got to remember, when the Olympics start at the Calgary Saddledome, the Flames are going to be on an extended road trip, one of the longest in NHL history, and that's why Edmonton wants to make hay, and they're going to be trying starting tonight at Nassau Coliseum. So how do the Oilers do without Wayne Gretzky? We'll find out right now. Jiggs and Eddie?
The Edmonton Oilers, Stan, will start Grant Fuhr in goal, as if there's anything new to that. Fuhr has played almost all the games, 2,821 minutes this season, with a 3.17 goals against, 3 shutouts, 26, 14, and 7, career record 6, 4, and 3 against the Islanders. Kelly Rudy, the Edmonton native, faces the Oilers, winless in his career against them, 0-5 and 4. With a 4.41 this season, 3.61 is his goals against average. He's seen that creep up, 15, 9, and 2. Wins, losses, and ties. Don Koharski now wearing a helmet. Doesn't look like Don Koharski, does it?
No, they're kidding him about it right now. You can see him laughing. The players probably giving him a bit of a nudge.
And as you saw, Bob Hodges and Mark Fines are the 2 linesmen assigned by the National Hockey League. The Oilers in the dark uniforms forced back into their own zone. Brett Sutter between Alan Kerr and Gary King, and the puck goes back to Diddick. His shot from the point sailed high and wide, bounces off the glass and down into the Islander zone. Potvin gets back, cleared it out to Brent Sutter. Sutter plays it to the right side, off Diddick's skates and on to Derek King. Slaps one off the boards away from Craig Muni. So Fuhr moves out of the net. Left the puck for the newly acquired, well, it wasn't Acton, excuse me. It was Tikkanen who moved it from back in the net. Anderson and Messier, the other forwards here for Edmonton. Brent Sutter's pass goes to Diddick. He shot it in around the boards. Alan Kerr chasing it. Kevin Lowe steps from back of the Edmonton goal. Lowe makes the pass up the left side. This is Messier working on Johnson. Steps around him. Can't get it by Kelly Rudy as he lost control of it. And there is a penalty on the play. The Islanders are going to be short-handed. Johnson going to the penalty box.
Mark Messier, he's as dangerous as any player in the league. He's Steve Conroy, of course, back in the lineup after the suspension. Here is the pass. Here comes Messier, a good skating, puck-handling defenseman, and Thomas Johnson gets the stick up too high. Messier gets the shot away. Kelly Rudy makes a good stop, but a big mistake by Thomas Johnson, a costly one, a penalty at the beginning of the hockey game against Edmonton. And he allowed Messier to get in behind him, playing the puck. You can't do that against Messier. You can't do it against Anderson. You can't do it against Curry. You can't do it against, of course, Gretzky's not in the lineup. There's a host of players on this Edmonton Oilers team that you can't do that against. And I'm sure that Thomas will not do it again throughout the game.
And a look at the numbers on the Edmonton power play, and that's where they are right now with Acton centering this forward line. Curry centers one and is banged in. Greg Simpson on the power play makes it 1-0.
How quickly they convert the first opportunity, and of course that Edmonton wants to do that on the road. One, they want to get the Islanders a little jittery. They know for a fact that the Islanders are not that confident. Get the first goal on them. Get them shaky at home in particular. Here on the power play, there's the pass across. Bang, standing in front. Simpson, has he been hot? He was hot when they traded him from the Pittsburgh Penguins over to the Edmonton Oilers. His 31st goal of the season. Look at him park in front. Gord Denis moves just a little too late to get to the stick or the body, and it's 1-0.
Simpson scored twice in that 5-1 Edmonton victory over the Islanders back at the Northlands Coliseum a couple of weeks ago tonight. Simpson at the 1:08 mark, using a power play, and they take the lead. Curry here on the right side can't get it to Acton. Greg Gilbert dumps it in front of the net.
Simpson's 31st of the year for Curry.
Steve Smith rounding the net. Curry and Smith got the assists on that goal by Simpson. The Islanders setting up at their own blue line, but the Oilers deny them any penetration. Collision between Gilbert and Conroy. And here's Krushelnyski backing into the Islanders zone. Janssen knocked it away from him. Steve Smith dumps it in. That's Conroy going back. Krushelnyski comes in to forecheck. Conroy plays it to the left wing side. And the Oilers pour in after it. Dave Hannon trying to get it back to Krushelnyski. It's in the skates of Conroy. Comes loose. Krushelnyski rounds the net. Is taken down. Loose puck for Hannon. Dave Hannon checked by Janssen. Hannon gets it right back again. Plays it across to McSorley. All alone. Moves in. Rudy knocked it away from him. Janssen steps in front of McSorley. Krushelnyski now slapping it around behind the net. And it's brought out by Randy Wood. Wood's pass into center ice is blocked. Picked up by Lauer, but he can't get it into the Edmonton zone. Hannon moves it to the right side. Leiter back on the Islander defense. Across to Demeen. Rink wide to Lauer. Lauer plus one. Fuhrer the save, and LaFontaine plays the rebound to Leiter. Could not pick it up in time, and McTavish sends McClelland over the line. McClelland taken out of the play by Deneen's check. Rudy pokes it up the boards, and here's LaFontaine breaking out with Randy Wood. LaFontaine over the line, cuts to the right side, centered one just wide. Randy Wood with it now, can't get it in front of the net. LaFontaine runs into McTavish, and the Oilers play it around the boards out to the left side for Bookberger. Goes to Deneen, now across to Derek King. King checked by McTavish. McClelland puts it in the Islander zone, and backing up on the play is Leiter. Over to Deneen. Worked it out to center ice, but out of the reach of his teammates. So for the Oilers once more, Kevin Lowe with a pass intended for McClelland. It came off the boards, and Derek King dumps it in off Lowe. King in after it along with Kerr. King kicks it out of there to Kerr, back to King, or to Brent Sutter. Sutter out of the corner, drops it off for Potvin, finds an opening, trying to cut through the defense, is checked, and the puck is cleared to center ice. Sutter back to Diddick. 1-0, Edmonton leading, early going here at the Coliseum. This is Denny Potvin. Potvin's pass to Alan Kerr, steps over the line and shoots one. Fuhrer down to make that stop. Here's Kevin Lowe playing it around to the right side for Messier. Now to Anderson. Anderson trying to get it back to Messier. King knocked it loose. Held in by Anderson. Anderson played it to the corner. Messier and King pushing at one another, and King plays the puck to the opposite corner. Anderson chased by Diddick. The acting captain Anderson, and Rudy makes the save off Tikkanen as they bounced on a loose puck in the Islander end of the ice. Diddick has dumped it down into the Edmonton zone. And this will be an icing against the Islanders. We're 4.5 minutes into the opening period here at the Nassau Coliseum. Greg Simpson has given the Oilers a 1-0 lead.
take a face-off. Islanders definitely need his talents for this hockey game.
Trottier centering for Makela over on right wing. Greg Gilbert on the left side. That's Conroy backhanding the puck into the Edmonton zone off your stick. Trottier takes the man as Gilbert goes in after the puck. Got it loose for Trottier, puts it in front. Makela too well covered, gets to it now. Back to Conroy. His shot is blocked. And here's Messier playing it up the middle off Anderson on into the Islanders zone. Kelly Rudy plays it around the boards off Gilbert. Recovered by Steve Conroy. Trottier relays the puck to Gilbert. Comes over center ice and shoots it in. Trottier and after it here on the left wing boards. It skipped off the boards right to low. Out come the Oilers. Tikkanen with a pass to Anderson. Anderson is offside as Tikkanen barreled in here on the right wing ahead of the puck carrier.
Glenn Anderson appointed captain by Glenn Sather when Gretzky was hurt. It's made a better hockey player. Anderson has always been a very effective player. Had the confidence of Glenn Sather, coach. He's the general manager. He's also the president of the Edmonton Oilers organization.
Some draft they had their first season in the National Hockey League, or the first year they were eligible to draft, 79. Kevin Lowe, Mark Messier, and Glenn Anderson. 3 in a row. Blue Chippers.
And they already had Wayne Gretzky.
Collision in the center ice area, and there will be a penalty and interference call. Richard Cron gets up limping. Gets back to the Islander players bench as the Oilers will be a man short. Edmonton leading the Islanders 1-0.
Penalty to Bogaboom of the Edmonton Oilers. The Islanders get a chance here. They trail by 1 in 14:35 remaining in the first period. They do not want to get behind an Edmonton team by any more than 1 or 2 because Edmonton is a tough team to get goals against when they're on the road.
Leiter playing the point, gave the puck to Janssen, back to Leiter. Janssen one-times it. It was tipped and Fuhrer up with a big stop. Eric King nudges it back to Janssen at the right point. In along the boards, that's King. Cross ice to Leiter. Leiter backs up toward the point. Goes to the right, then shot one that went off his stick. Here's King. Brent Sutter, LaFontaine cruising in front of the net. They can't get the puck to him, and the Oilers move it to the left side. Keith Acton was out on the power play, now killing a penalty as well, and the Oilers recover the puck and dump it down the ice.
That's something that Glenn Sather has never been afraid to do with his hockey team. He's used players in all kinds of positions that normally you wouldn't expect to see them in. He probably gives them the job and says, you play yourself out of it.
LaFontaine has moved it in around the boards. It skips in front of the net, and the Oilers bounce on it quickly and come to center ice into the Islanders zone as Hannon with a shot that deflects off his stick and up into the seats. Janssen with him step for step.
Keith Acton out there. Of course, so many of these different players in different positions right now. Normally you'd see Wayne Gretzky. So it's a lot of ice time for some players that normally wouldn't get that same kind of ice time. That's Craig Muni.
There's another acquisition. You look at Muni. He was a top draft pick of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They can't find a spot for him, and he ends up in Edmonton as a regular.
Yeah, and you know he hasn't been around in the NHL that much, but it's his 7th professional season, 2nd with the Edmonton team. He signed as a free agent.
Now 50 seconds remaining in the Islander power play. Coffey from back of the net starts out with it. Gave it to Gerald Diddick as he moved over center ice. Dumped it into the Edmonton zone. It's slowed up by Fuhrer. Kevin Lowe lost it to Makela in the far corner. Makela slipped it out in front. Kerr is checked. And out come the Oilers. Into center ice. Messier pulls to the right. Runs into Trottier at center ice. Trottier dropping the puck to Potvin. Back to Trottier. Trottier plays it to the far side to Kerr. Low tight on him. Trottier moves it after it. Gets it back to Potvin. Potvin double team. Forced to clear it out into the center ice zone. Gerald Diddick plays it back to the Edmonton blue line. Muni picks it up and shoots it down the ice, but put it right in the penalty box.
One of the things that's distracting to a power play against the Edmonton Oilers is that they do have scoring penalty killers. 14 shorthanded goals so far this season the Edmonton Oilers have scored. But they're ranked 14th overall in penalty killing. They're not that good. There's Keith Acton.
Does that trade surprise you at all, giving up Bo Mantha after only a couple of months?
A little bit, but I suppose one thing that you have to look at as far as the Edmonton Oilers are concerned is that they're going to get Randy Gregg back. He's with the Canadian Olympic team, and he's coming back to Edmonton after the Olympic Games, and he will go right into the lineup. So that makes somebody like Mo Mantha a good piece of trading property. Acton is a good fill-in, a good third and fourth line centerman. And, you know, another case where a player will probably be better than he was, say, with Minnesota. He scored 36 goals one year in 1981 for Montreal. He was an original Montreal Canadian property and played 3.5 years for Montreal before being traded to Minnesota.
30 years of age, or will be. There the Islanders, LaFontaine battling for the puck. And it was knocked away. The teams are at 6-a-side again. The Islanders unable to get even with the man advantage. Wood takes over at center ice. Randy Wood dumps it in off the stick. Knocked down, and they're calling the play back for a face-off in the center ice area. So we have 12-17 left to play in the opening period, 1-0.
The Oilers ranked 6th in the league in team defense. The Islanders are now ranked 9th.
Edmonton leading 1-0 on a first period goal by Craig Simpson. Basson, Crom, and Henry, the Islander forwards. Leiter and Dineen together on defense. Kenny Morrow not in the Islander lineup tonight as we watch McClellan come over center ice, played it in around Leiter. Krushelnicki on his right side, backhanded one in front. The Oilers trying to come out of the corner. The play broken up, and Crom clears the zone. Sorley takes it here on the right side and dumps it in offside at the Islander blue line.
Again, an Islander, this time Ken Leiter victimized. McSorley coming down on him. He got part of the body. Oh, we got a fight going on now.
Dale Henry involved on the receiving end of things. He has been knocked down. See the situation here as the linesmen, Bob Hodges and Mark Clines, get them separated.
Marty McSorley and Dale Henry. We have a break in the action, an Oiler 1-0 lead. There's 11:44 remaining here in the first period. We'll be right back. Right, 5 minutes each for fighting. There's the move. McSorley on Ken Leiter, got in behind him. There's his play to the front of the net. Kelly Rudy deflected it. Good job moving in behind and quickly with Charlie Huddy.
Teams remain at 6-a-side. Dineen and Leiter on defense. Basson makes the play to Kerr. Has Crom with him on the left side. Kerr's shot off the defenseman ends up back of the net. The Oilers try to move it up the boards. Odelin got it to center ice, and this is McTavish dumping it into the Islander zone. Or Dineen back, plays it up the boards, and it's cleared out by Alan Kerr. Chases it down the right wing boards. Crom comes in late. As Kerr pulls it back from Odelin, gives it to Potvin, moves in with a shot, just wide of the glove side of Fuhr. Crom sets up Diddick at the right point. That shot goes wide of the net. Kerr chasing it, got a piece of McClellan, got him with a high stick it appeared, and McClellan turned, looked at Kerr, and then went back to the net to pick up the puck. McClellan clears it to center ice. Shot right back in again by Gerald Diddick. Fuhr waved at it. The Islanders get to it first. Trottier checked on the boards. This is Tikkanen turning on the left wing side, cuts into the center ice area. Tikkanen chased back by Gilbert. Moved it on to Lowe, up to Messier's, knocked away by Potvin, and Makela dumps it into center ice. The Oilers get to it first, however, and force the Islanders into their own territory. Trottier moves it out. Bank went off Makela. Makela, by the way, wearing the visor on his helmet tonight. Protect an injury received earlier this past week. Makela held the puck at the right line into Trottier. Back it goes for Gilbert. Gilbert to Makela, got a poke at it, but it's blocked at the defense and cleared out the right side. Glenn Anderson over center ice. Bounces one in front of Kelly Rudy. And Anderson just kept moving right on in and knocked Conroy flying. Gilbert got a poke at the puck, but couldn't get it outside the line. Messier's pass is intercepted. Makela across to Trottier. Trottier bumped by Anderson as he played it into center ice. Edmonton up 1-0 in the first period. Messier into the Islander zone is offside on the play.
Edmonton continue to bring the puck to the Islanders. They have had a few opportunities, but Messier, of course, always a threat to score. How would you like a color action photo of each of your favorite Islanders? That's what you'll get in the Islanders 87-88 yearbook. In addition to these full-page photos, read all about Pat LaFontaine, Kelly Rudy, and each of the Islanders who remain from the 1980 Stanley Cup winning team. It's a must for every Islander fan. For your copy, send a check or money order of $6 to the Islanders yearbook. Let's give you that later, the address to send your $6. Well, we'll continue on now. We've got another stoppage of play. It's a must for every fan. So send $6 to the Islander yearbook, Sports Programs Incorporated, 4100 Palisades Avenue, Union City, New Jersey, 07087.
Lining up for a face-off just inside the New York Islander blue line. Brent Sutter is at center ice, Derek King on the left, and Alan Kerr on the right side. King remained with the Islanders, obviously, after that game in Hartford on Thursday night. Mick Lakota went back to the Springfield Indians in the American Hockey League. They were beaten last night. Hershey knocked them off in the game at Springfield. Brent Sutter takes the puck at the side of the net, turned sharply, made the pass to Kerr. Four Oilers get back into center ice as Kerr dumps it in. King in after it, but he's offside. Put it behind Fuhr anyway, but the whistle is sounded. And that will not sit very well with the Edmonton Oilers.
In the Islander pregame show, I was interviewing Glenn Slats Sather, president, general manager, and coach of the Edmonton Oilers. I asked him, Slats, are you going to continue coaching? Yes or no? He said no. The guy to his right, your left, with the white hair, well, it's kind of white, glasses, John Muckler. One of the strengths of the Edmonton Oilers has to be the quiet gentleman, John Muckler. He's a student of the game. He's been the assistant coach for many years under Sather, and he would probably, safe to say, be in line to take the job if he wants it.
I would be inclined to think so.
A lot of teams in the league who have coaching problems would love to have him.
A lot of coaching experience picked up right here on Long Island at Comac Arena.
That's right, Long Island Ducks.
Puck in and out of the penalty box area. Got the play stoppage and a face-off in the center ice zone. 1-0, the Islanders trailing the Edmonton Oilers.
Your guest showed up today, huh?
Yeah, he came talk to us tonight. Isn't that nice?
I was joking with him before he went in to talk to you on the Islander pregame show. I said, do something, will you, just to mess Jiggs up a little bit? You didn't. Last home game, you were supposed to be his guest, Brad, and his thoughts were in a whole different world. He was very nervous.
Oh, to be young. What, did those lights get to him?
You have a tendency to make people nervous now,
Yeah,
don't you?
sure.
Our position.
Yeah, right. Anderson playing the puck up the right boards into the center ice zone. Got it again and comes over the Islander blue line. Anderson checked as he went to cut around Diddick. Gilbert caught up to him. And it's been cleared back into the Edmonton territory. 8.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. Here's Glenn Anderson into the Islanders zone with a quick shot off the goalpost. Kelly Rudy covers it, and he gets covered.
Talk about a shot. Anderson, a blistering drive to the left of Kelly Rudy. Hit the goalpost, comes straight out between his legs. He was able to hang on to the puck. Then he got semi-run over. He was down anyway. But Anderson, he has been one of the outstanding Edmonton Oilers for years, and he seems to be even better. Talking to some of the people close, there's Hannon. He got in close right after. As here's Anderson, he freewheels. He come across the line, and watch this drive as it hits the goalpost to the left of Kelly Rudy, comes back out. He has the presence to corral the rebound as Hannon moves in, but Anderson has been playing some of his best hockey since being given the captaincy in the absence of the injured Wayne Gretzky.
Following the face-off, Rudy banks it around to the left wing boards. Crom relays it to Kerr. Forces Fuhr out of the net. He shot one off Richard Crom. Crom plays it along the boards. Kerr gets to it. Back to Crom, chased by McTavish as he centered the puck. Basson put it in front. The Islanders unable to get to it on the first effort, and Lowe cuts through and recovers for Edmonton. Kevin Lowe to McClellan. McClellan plays it rink wide to McTavish. Into the Islanders zone. Drop pass. Vershelneski moves into the corner and shot one wide of the net. It comes back to Craig Muni for a drive. Buchberger parked in front, couldn't get a stick on it. Out come the Islanders, 4-on-2. Basson with a pass to Kerr. Across the line, Crom trailing, picks it up, shoots Fuhr the save. The rebound jumped over a couple of sticks and then is banged wide. A collision in the goal mouth has knocked Fuhr down. Knocked the goalpost off the mooring as well.
Good chance for the Islanders. The shot stopped by Grant Fuhr. He has not been that busy so far in the hockey game, but the rebound come back, took a bounce. There you see Bob Basson. Whenever you see action, he's always in the middle of it. His numbers do not display that, but he is. He makes things happen. Here's Kerr as he drops it to Crom. Crom tries to pick the corner to the right. There, look at a good toe save. You see the puck up in the air. Then on the rebound attempt, the Islanders miss out. Basson heads into the net. Muni's in on top of him. The stick is under the net and through the other side. One of the better scoring chances for the Islanders so far in the hockey game. Right at the beginning of the period, Gerald Didick with a hard shot. He shot it wide. Dennis Potvin had a good scoring opportunity from point-blank range, and he also shot wide.
Brad Lauer playing the off wing on a line with Brent Sutter and Derek King tonight. The Oilers move the puck out into center ice off Lauer's stick. Dineen lost it, then checked Messier as he broke over the line. Lauer moves up, poked the puck away. The Oilers tighten up on defense, and Bukaboom lifts it high in the air and wide of Kelly Rudy. Dineen working it around the left wing boards for King. He's cleared it to center ice, and Smith gets back. The pass to Anderson. Overled Messier. It's loose in the Islander zone. Kelly Rudy plays it around to the left wing. King tipping it. Recovers. The Leiter dumps it into the center ice zone, and Tikkanen hammers it right back in again. Messier goes in after the puck. It's bumped by Brent Sutter. So Leiter plays it to the opposite side for Lauer. Out into the center ice zone. King after it. Poked it away from Bukaboom. Got to it again. Harry King trying to get away from Messier, is taken down on the play. Play allowed to continue. Smith gave it away to King. Got it into the Edmonton zone, and the Oilers start out with it. Bukaboom with a long shot wide of Rudy. It skips out in front as it came off the boards. Rudy grabs it and holds on. We've got just over 6 minutes remaining in the opening period here at the Nassau Coliseum. The Oilers are leading the Islanders 1-0.
Tuned in, you're right, the Edmonton Oilers are here, but Wayne Gretzky isn't. The Oilers are 4 wins, 3 losses, and 4 ties without him. Their last 7 on the road, they're 1 win, 3 losses, and 3 ties.
Keith Acton asked to leave the face-off area. Craig Simpson will take the draw. Odelin moves up on the right side. Curry is the other forward. And Simpson gets to the puck and backhands one wide. He was down on one knee at the time. And out comes Gilbert. On pass to Makela. Over the Edmonton line, trying to get in around the defense. Is held, makes the play. The puck loose. Potvin shoots and scores!
Dennis Potvin, his experience tells him where to go, and it was the right spot. Makela was being held. As he tried to get outside, he managed to pull his way around. Here he comes, Makela down the right side. He's hooked up by Charlie Huddy, but he fights off Huddy. Look at that one-handed shot on the net. The puck bounces loose out in front. Here comes Potvin. He rifles it almost into the center of the net. It's a 1-1 tie. Dennis Potvin with his 12th goal of the season brings the Islanders back into a tied situation. Here's Makela again, gets outside Huddy and turns back in.
Plays it behind the Edmonton goal. Now up to Curry. Held in by Greg Gilbert. Gilbert plays it around the boards. Makela after it. Kicked it to Trache. Trache into the corner to Makela. The give and go didn't work, and Curry feeds it on into the center ice zone to Acton. Back to Curry. Curry on the backhand turns. Played it wide of the Islander net. Greg Gilbert slaps it off the boards. Off Muni as well. Makela and Gilbert getting assists on Denny Potvin's 12th goal this season. His 303rd career goal, tying him with Dennis Hull.
Yes, and he needs one more to tie Clark Gillies on the Islanders' all-time goal list.
Now, quick shot, Rudy the save. No rebound as it's underneath him and held for a face-off. Edmonton comes storming back into the Islanders' zone.
Good stop by Kelly Rudy, getting some help from Gerald Didick. Kelly Rudy getting up, and Edmonton come roaring right back. They have a lot of firepower on 3 lines on Edmonton. Here's how it all gets started. There's the puck, bang, there's the shot. Good stop by Kelly Rudy. He gets himself in a trap position down, but the puck happens to be between his feet. Here's the goal a moment ago as Makela fights off a check from Charlie Huddy, gets the shot away one-handed. Potvin moves up. There's the rebound. There's the net. There's the puck in it, and it's a 1-1 tie.
Only 60 players in the history of the National Hockey League have scored more goals than Denny Potvin now. The next guy that he has in his sights, Bob Nevin. He scored 307 in his career.
Yes, the one-time captain of the New York Rangers, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Groshelniski centering the puck. McSorley is there, and it's poked away by Rudy. To Wood, now to Lauer. Brad Lauer played it to the open side, and nobody coming up for the Islanders. 1-1 is your scores. The Edmonton Oilers move it down into the Islander zone off Groshelniski's stick. Going back is Wood. Randy Wood with a pass to Brad Lauer. Played it up the boards out of the reach of LaFontaine, and now the Oilers bring it over the Islander line offside.
Dennis Potvin had 7 points in his last 3 games prior to tonight's game. Now he's got 8 points in 3+ games as the ex-captain, all-star. Yeah, put the shield back on. Said if you have to think about it, you may as well wear it. That's exactly what he said. I was thinking about it. I said, what am I thinking about it for? If I'm thinking about it that much, put it on.
Richard Crom playing the puck into center ice, played right back again by Bukaboom, and Henry moves up the left side after taking Leiter's pass. Couldn't get it to the front of the net for Crom, who had broken in over the line. Deneen slaps it in from center ice, comes around the boards to Basson. Basson, Henry, McTavish rides him into the boards. Basson goes in after it. He's taken into the boards by Bukaboom. Basson gets away from the check. Plays it around the corner boards. Greg McTavish takes it away from Henry, crisscrossed in front of the net, then played it back the other way.
Kind of a play you can make if you know exactly what you're doing, and he did.
Obviously. No doubt he's done it before. Ooh, McClellan on one of those turnaround, wraparound things at center ice dumps it in, and now comes Gordon Deneen. Plays it through the skates of McClellan. Pick it up again at center ice. Backhands it in as the Islanders go for a complete player change. Alan Kerr goes into forecheck. Brent Sutter is out as well as Derek King. Kerr took his man down, and the Islanders may have gotten away with one as Tikkanen hit the deck heavily. Brent Sutter is over the Edmonton line. Sutter pulling to the left side. It's around Odelin. Around behind the net as well. Feeds it back to Diddick. Harold Diddick using the boards. Waited in the direction of King, but it missed him. So the Oilers take over, and here on right wing, Glenn Anderson has moved it out to center ice. Tikkanen to Huddy. Shoots one. Rudy the stick save. Harold Diddick plays it up the right side. This is Alan Kerr. On to Brent Sutter. Sutter across the Edmonton line. Can't split the defense. The Oilers clear it to Tikkanen. He turns and shoots it down the ice. Won't go far enough for icing. 2.5 minutes remaining in the opening period as Johnson makes the pass into center ice. It's broken up. Steve Conroy dumps it to the Edmonton line. Moving up with the puck is Kevin Lowe. Waits for his teammates to get back. Big and dumped down, and Lowe shoots it in off the boards. Rudy leaves it for Johnson. Thomas Johnson takes a look. The pass relayed by Conroy to Gilbert. And dumped down into the Edmonton territory. Kevin Lowe rink wide with a pass that deflects off the glass. And wide open. The Oilers move in and shot it wide. What an opportunity for Keith Acton. And meantime, it's Gilbert over center ice. Gilbert a drop pass to Makela. Moves into good position and then is checked. The puck loose and the Oilers up with it. Lowe clears it up the left wing boards to Acton. Acton into the Islanders zone with a burst of speed, but the play is offside. 1 minute and 37 seconds remaining in the opening period at the Coliseum. The Islanders won, the Edmonton Oilers won.
McTavish has the puck. He's all of a sudden in trouble with Basson checking him. Look at the nice little drop pass as he sets it back to his defenseman. Beautiful play by McTavish. Here the Islanders get away with a little hooking, although it looks more like theatrics. I don't think they got away with so much as the referee decided. Ron Koharski, I'm not falling for that trick. Adios, amigo. You're not going to get a penalty. And that's the way it is.
1-1 is your score as Denny Potvin banks it off the boards down into the Edmonton zone. Wide to Fuhr. Smith touches up, and that'll be an icing call.
McTavish, as you watched him make that play, one of the few and becoming fewer helmetless players in the league. There are now 10 playing in the league without a helmet. Get a look, that's Steve Smith. He's from Glasgow, Scotland. how they ever found him in Glasgow, Scotland, but he's been a great acquisition. His 5th professional season. Done an outstanding job. He's got a great plus-minus. He and Bokaboom together.
They were supposed to have had a World Hockey Tournament in Glasgow last fall, and it was canceled at the last minute. Apparently they lost their sponsorship. In fact, the U.S. Olympic team was already in Finland preparing to play in that tournament. The cancellation notice came. Coffey takes it back to the net as Krushelnyski chases him. Moved it up the right side with a pass to Wood. Across from the left side, Lauer trying to knock it away from McSorley. Couldn't do it. McSorley gave it away to Wood, but he was outside the Edmonton blue line, and there's no further play. Well, the Islanders go off on a road trip next week following the annual dinner dance with the Booster Club on Monday night. They'll head for Minnesota to meet the North Stars on Wednesday, and in Buffalo next Friday night. A week from tonight, they'll be here at the Coliseum again, hosting the Montreal Canadiens, meeting them for the final time this season.
I knew there was something unique about Acton. You saw Acton with that shot a moment ago, his last shift, as he drilled it over the crossbar. His name appears first in the National Hockey League Guide.
That's right.
For active players in the league.
I mean an Aronson or an Abernathy or somebody like that. A penalty call now. A holding call on Brad Lauer will set up an Edmonton power play with 56 seconds left in the period. Well, Edmonton got their opening goal on a power play.
Brad Lauer's to get the gate. I wasn't sure whether it was going to be a penalty on Lauer. There, he's being held, but then he reaches out and grabs on. But watch the puck. There's holding the puck also. The defenseman goes down, grabs a hold of the puck, and holds it. So anyway, Lauer's got the penalty with 58 seconds remaining in the period. It's a 1-1 tie. Simpson for Edmonton is 31st, and Potvin got his 12th.
Interesting that we've had as many power play opportunities in the first period tonight as we had in the entire game at Edmonton 2 weeks ago.
Got a look from behind at Grant Fuhr, and across the ice look at Terry Simpson. Must feel not too bad about the team. They've played a fairly good period, although they've had good periods and they've had good back-to-back periods. There he is. You think he's laid back? I'd hate to have the seat behind him.
Glenn Cameron Sather. High River, Alberta native. We watch Messier moving it into the Islanders zone. Back to Tikkanen. He gets it right back from Bokaboom and then was checked, and Conroy has cleared it out.
35 seconds remaining. A big job here for the Islanders, of course. Here's a couple of penalties now, as Koharski is an Islander, and he also has an Edmonton Oiler. Alan Kerr for the Islanders is getting the gate. They held a little too long. Bokaboom for Edmonton. Puck was shot in. They were hacking away at each other just as they crossed the blue line into the Edmonton's end of the ice. Into Edmonton's end of the ice. There's Bokaboom on your left as he watches Kerr. Kerr says, here, don't pull that thing with me. You're going to try and hook me, I know. Gives him a two-hander across the stick. It's the penalty. Kerr's going along with Bokaboom to their respective dressing rooms. They get the skates off earlier. And get the best batch of the Gatorade or whatever it is they have. Get to watch the last 35 seconds of the Edmonton power play on the television set in the rooms, and they get to listen to you and I, Jiggs.
Punishment, huh?
Not even a little bit. They can find out what's going on in the hockey game. There's Bokaboom as he heads into the Edmonton dressing room, or camera down at that level.
Less than 28 seconds remaining in the opening period as the Oilers will start the power play from deep in their own zone. Play 6 against 5 after those coincidental minor penalties, and Messier puts it in the corner. Anderson after it. Diddick knocked it away from him. Potvin moves up, can't get to it in time. This is Messier. Messier to Tikkanen. Rudy the save, and there's absolutely no rebound.
Good stop by Kelly Rudy as he dives quickly across. Tikkanen fires it well. He's got a good shot. Look at the hand now. That one hit him awkwardly. It must have hit him on the back of the hand. Actually, it can't because that's blocking hand. He's got lots of protection. Watch Messier to Tikkanen, and he lets it go. A quick wrist shot. It's a hard shot. Kelly Rudy, you can see how awkward he made the save. He hangs on. You know what's happened is that his hand is like a leather mitt. See how if you get a look at his right hand, It's just a mitt with a big blocking thing on the front, but underneath all that, down in the hand part, it's vulnerable if he misjudges. The puck got in behind it and hit him on the fingers.
Oilers get the draw. Curry duffed the shot. He gets it back, but the horn is sounded, ending the opening period. Edmonton outshot the Islanders by a margin of 3 in the period. They scored the opening goal. Craig Simpson on a power play, and then Denny Potvin got it back for the Islanders with 6 minutes remaining in the period. We talked about Simpson, what a year he has had. Absolutely has to be the key in that big deal that sent Paul Coffey to the Pittsburgh Penguins. At the end of one period, the Islanders won, the Edmonton Oilers won. We'll be back with a recap following these messages.
Two 307-7171.
A look at Grant Fuhr as he gets ready to go to work for the Edmonton Oilers. Came into tonight's game with a record of 26 wins, 14 losses, and 7 ties. And look at that note. There is a backup goaltender, Darryl Ray, but he doesn't see much action. Kelly Rudy has played the majority of games here at the Coliseum this year. He's 11-5-2 on home ice. There's the backup goaltender for the Edmonton Oilers, 22 years of age, having a good time.
How would you like to be paid like he's being paid per stop?
Not bad. 57 seconds remaining in the penalty time against Brad Lauer of the Islanders. Yari Curry with a pass to Messier into the Islanders zone. Anderson trailing, couldn't pick up the puck. Brent Sutter clears it out, comes down the right wing boards. Sutter has Crom moving up with him. Sutter's shot, pure the stop. And the Oilers able to move it around to Messier, who lost it. Brent Sutter dumps it back in. Or leaves it behind the net. Now 33 seconds remaining in the penalty against Lauer. Smith goes to the left side for Messier. Comes over center ice. Couldn't get it into the Islanders zone. Now Steve Smith comes over the line but did not have the puck. Yari Curry plays it to right wing and Messier is offside. Messier with the stick up a little with Greg Gilbert. Nothing too serious there.
Islanders got the Edmonton Oilers in their last effort on a power play, all standing along the blue line. Sutter had an opportunity a moment ago. He had Richard Crom on his left. Here's Sutter across the blue line. Figures that I'll take the shot. There you see Crom moving in, looking for the rebound, but Fuhr neatly steered it aside to the corner. Good shot by Sutter, good hard shot. The option there, of course, is to shoot it as he did, or he's got the pass he could make or attempt to make to Richard Crom breaking down the middle of the ice. Problem with making the pass is that if it doesn't reach, you haven't had a good scoring opportunity. He opted to shoot it and then try for a rebound.
LaFontaine just beat Messier on the face-off, and Deneen slapped it down the ice. Charlie Huddy back for it. Plays it up the right side to Messier. Anderson cuts to right wing, trails Messier into the Islanders zone, then heads to the front of the net. The pass came back to the blue line. A long shot tipped, and Rudy able to make the save. Out come the Islanders. Lauer sprung from the penalty box. Brings it into the Edmonton zone. Got it in around the defenseman Huddy. LaFontaine gets bumped and knocked down. Lauer up with the puck. Brad Lauer is checked. Taken over center ice with Krushelnyski. Krushelnyski into the Islanders zone. Loose puck. Anderson after it. Anderson plays it in front. It's deflected back to the blue line. The shot is blocked. And recovered again by Odeline. Went to center one. Long shot is turned aside off Huddy's drive. Huddy gets it into the corner. Oilers put it in front for Anderson. He is checked, and out comes Brad Lauer. Islanders move up 3-on-2. Lauer across the line with a drive. That deflected wide. Randy Wood goes in after. Got bumped by Charlie Huddy. Mike Krushelnyski handling the puck with a pass to Dave Hannon. Hannon and McSorley over the line. McSorley couldn't get between Conroy and Johnson. They watch LaFontaine set up Gilbert across the Makela, and it jumped over his stick. Mikko Makela back to Conroy. Fuhr the save. Hannon plays it up the boards to McSorley. Goes instead to Krushelnyski, and now to Hannon at center ice. Dave Hannon trying to get through the Islander defense. Gilbert knocked it away. Takes Hannon into the boards heavily. Conroy tying up Krushelnyski. The puck comes out in front. Trottier gets to it. Then lost it. Johnson backs him up. Thomas Johnson chased behind the net by McSorley. Plays it to left wing to Gilbert. Now to Trottier and on to Makela. Miko Makala moving in on Kevin Lowe. Got bumped. Loose puck in the Edmonton zone, but Muni is there. Greg Muni to Yari Curry. Curry shoots it in from center ice. Acton can't get around Potvin. And then Gilbert over to knock Bukaboom down. Makala checked in his own zone, but the puck ends up in the center ice area. Greg Muni back. Got it wide of Rudy. Potvin is there. Penalty call in effect against Edmonton. Richard Crom lost it, and as the Oilers get to it, play is called, and referee Don Koharski is sending Kevin Lowe to the penalty box. So at 16 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the second period, the Islanders will get their second power play opportunity.
Lowe had knocked Miko Makala down at the Edmonton blue line. The play goes into the Islanders' end of the ice. Makala knocks Lowe down. Lowe gets up, and as they're skating out of the end zone, he gives a two-hander to Miko Makala right in front of the referee, Don Koharski. So Edmonton now will be a man short.
You hear what Kevin Lowe did to our Stan Fischler tonight? And they were recording the piece that Kevin did prior to the start of the game about how they missed Paul Coffey. Stan had asked the question. Kevin answered in French. Stan had no idea what he was saying.
Well, he's a bright guy. He's a writer also. He writes an article, doesn't he, for the Edmonton Journal?
Yeah, the Sun, I believe, the tabloid paper. Interesting article. He is a character. Good guy. The Islanders moved in offside at the Edmonton blue line.
Something we were talking about, and a lot of fans probably don't care. Some may. We have the opportunity, of course, to be around with the Islander players a lot, but around the visiting team all the time when they're here at the Coliseum, because our studios are right near their dressing room. And boy, I'll tell you, what a good bunch of young men this Edmonton Oilers team has. There wasn't one that came anywhere near us that wouldn't say hello and talk to us.
Brent Sutter holding the puck, shoots one from the blue line. It was up high. Fuhr the save, and the rebound is picked up, but not clear. Diddick with a shot. Fuhr stretching out to make the save. Brent Sutter got turned around, and now Messier brings it into center ice. Anderson trailing. Up comes Smith as well. Messier holds it. Peels back. Nobody trailing the play. Messier breaks in, played it to the corner. Smith centers one out in front. That's broken up, and Potvin takes over for the Islanders. Kenny Potvin sends Derek King up left wing. Played it in around Bukaboom. King goes in after it. Loose to the side of the net. LaFontaine plays it to the corner. Trottier had it skip off the boards. At LaFontaine gives it to Trottier. Into LaFontaine. Back to the blue line. Here's Potvin with a shot. Fuhr the save. Loose puck is cleared away. Comes off Derek King. Stick it up to center ice. 43 seconds remaining in the power play. Trottier tipping it into the Edmonton zone. Bukaboom fires it down the ice. Rudy will leave it for Potvin. And waits as his teammates set up. Pass to Trottier. Over to Leiter, stick handling across the line, got bumped and knocked down. Greg McTavish works it around the boards. Out to Dave Hannon. Hannon with three Islanders back as he cuts to right wing. Janssen reaches over to knock it loose. Hannon gets it again on the boards. He and Trottier in a battle for it. Janssen moved in, couldn't knock it loose, and they freeze it for a face-off with 5 seconds left in Kevin Lowe's slashing penalty.
One of the best saves of the game so far for Grant Fuhr in his 49th game tonight. This sets a new personal high for Fuhr. He played 48 games in the 81-82 season. That was his rookie year. But the Islanders with some pressure here and a screed shot. Gerald Diddick, look at the blast. What a nice stretching save by Grant Fuhr. Probably overshadowed all of these years with the great players in front of him, but boy, when they need him, is he there? I suppose they recognize that, and they're going to try and compensate him for it. He is right now in the midst of some negotiations on his contract.
He's begun to endear himself a little more to the fans in Edmonton. Remember when they didn't like him? And he called the fans in Edmonton jerks. I think that was his second season in the league.
Now that'll do it.
Yeah, that helps, all right.
That's a way of getting the fans a little perturbed, at least some of them.
Just now beginning to respect the abilities of a Grant Fuhr night after night after night. The Islanders had 3 shots with the man advantage. Teams are at 6 aside again. 1-1 is the score as Janssen makes the play to Basson. Put his head down but couldn't get around Kevin Lowe. Forechecking of Crom forced the Oilers to go to the right side. Acton left it on the boards. Basson is there. Bob Basson backhands it in from the blue line. Kevin Lowe will pick it up. Works it high in the air, down into the Islanders' zone. Chasing it is Acton. Conroy will get back. It did not get over the goal line quick enough. Curry takes it on the right wing as the Islanders fail to clear it out, but Conroy recovers and moves it up the right side to Kerr. Off the boards it goes. Recovered by Richard Crom. He's into the Edmonton zone looking for some help. Back to Bassett. His quick shot. Good stop by Grant Fuhr. Now Leiter lets one go. It's blocked in front. Crom got turned around and the puck comes back to the point for Dineen. Dineen is checked and it's cleared out by Mike Krushelnyski. Brent Sutter backhands it into the Edmonton zone. Fuhr leaves it for Kevin Lowe. Left side to Simpson. He clears the zone. Derek King goes after the puck. King turns, gives it to Gord Dineen. Dineen over center, left wing pass off the stick of Wood on to King. King put it in front, it's banged in. Brent Sutter.
Stern look of Glenn Saylor. What a nice passing play. Randy Wood had just come off the bench. Gord Dineen makes the long pass. Wood mishandled it. There's the pass by Derek King out of the air. He picked the puck out of the air as Sutter hammers it in. His 18th goal of the season. A big one. The Islanders get the lead for the first time in the hockey game. Brent Sutter. Puck was a foot off the ice as he tapped it in. Well, the Islanders jump ahead here by 1. Making them, takes a little pressure off from 2 under the circumstances.
Now the Oilers fail to get out of their own zone. Wood puts it back to the net. Fuhr leaves it. Fontaine into forecheck, and the Oilers up with it. On the line. Waiting. Derek King has been credited the only assist on the goal. And LaFontaine tripped up. And he will go off, and the Islanders will go to the power play. They have a 2-1 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. We have 13 minutes and 5 seconds remaining here in the second period.
Here with the farm team in Nova Scotia, Chris Odeline, there's the penalty on Pat LaFontaine. He's in his second professional year. The Islanders now go to the power play.
Nakala out with Trottier and Kerr. Diddick and Puffin together on defense, and the Oilers force the Islanders back. Rudy moves it up the right wing for Kerr, plays it around the other way for Diddick. Messier into forecheck. Diddick has given it to Puffin. So Odeline in the penalty box for hooking, and they have given Randy Wood an assist on Brent Sutter's goal. We watch Trottier move in. Played it to the corner, it's knocked away from Kerr, went back to Puffin. To the corner for Makela. Nico Makela plays it back in the net. That's Kerr. Makela needs the blue line for Potvin. Over to Diddick, back to Potvin. Took it in the skates, gave it to Makela. Potvin shoots one. It was off Kerr and bounced wide. Diddick puts it out in front. Here's Makela, can't get it teed up in time. Now Potvin with a shot. That's wide. Trottier steps from back of the net. Tangled up with Smith. Kerr goes behind the goal. Around to Trottier. Tips it to Diddick, covering the blue line. His shot is blocked. Ends up in the corner. Makela digs it out of there. Nico Makela checked on the boards, and Messier feeds it out into center ice. 45 seconds remaining in the penalty to Odeline. Trottier to Makela, comes over the line on right wing. Shoots one. Fuhr kicks that aside. Oilers clear it down into the center ice area. Chasing it back is Johnson. LaFontaine has come out with Trottier and Makela now. This is Trottier across the blue line. A drop pass to Makela. Into Trottier. Tips it back to the net to LaFontaine. To Trottier. Took it in his skates and got tangled up a little bit. And Krushelnyski comes out on the right side for Edmonton. Lays it off the boards around Leiter. Janssen over. Krushelnyski bumps in, knocks him down, and handles the puck. Mike Krushelnyski showing some strength. Got it out into the center ice zone, but Ely couldn't handle it, and LaFontaine is over the line. Left it for Sutter. He shoots one that's deflected. Gains it 6 aside. Sutter to Makela, and his shot is blocked. Brent Sutter kicks it away from Lowe. Lowe recovers, moves it up the boards, and the Oilers play it rink wide, but out of the reach of Krushelnyski. LaFontaine gets back over the line. It's upended, but the whistle had sounded on and offside. Little pushing and shoving after the whistle. Little less than 11 minutes to play. Period number 2 at the Coliseum. Your scores, the Islanders 2, the Oilers 1.
In period, Brent Sutter's goal, his 18th, giving the Islanders a 2-1 lead. at 6:31. Sutter now 7 goals in his last 7 games, including tonight.
You have any roll aids with you?
I can get some in a hurry.
We better send them over to Lou Nanny, who's advanced scouting the Islanders in preparation for the game at Minnesota Wednesday. His team is in Hartford tonight. The North Stars are trailing 4-0. It's just after the national anthem. Edmonton backed into their own zone. The puck knocked away out into the center ice area, and Conroy is back.
The fellow that sings the national anthem must have 2 at least.
Keith Acton trying to get the puck to a teammate, Simpson. Alan Kerr and Gord Dineen team up for the Islanders. Acton had it in his skates. It's checked by Kerr, and it goes back of the net for Dineen. Trying to get away from Simpson. Dineen backhands it into center, on into the Edmonton zone. Referee with his arm up in the air. There's going to be a penalty against the Islanders. Don Koharski pointing at Gerald Diddick, it appears.
Simpson went off like he was hurt. Simpson went down awkwardly. Ooh, look at that trip up on Gord Dineen earlier.
And that's what he is called. It is not.
It's against the Edmonton.
That's right.
It's against the Edmonton Oilers. They tripped up. Gordy Dineen got upended. Let's take a look at the action. Watch Dineen now in the middle of your screen. You see him go flying. Simpson went down like he'd fallen on the back of the skate of Gord Dineen, but Acton, for tripping Dineen, gets the penalty. Slats doesn't seem too upset. It was happening just to his right in front of the bench, but Acton, newly acquired from the Minnesota North Stars, gets a penalty for tripping. 9:54 remaining in the second period. Good opportunity here. The Islanders could use a 2-goal lead against the Edmonton Oilers.
LaFontaine with Brent Sutter and Derek King for the Islanders. On defense, it's Johnson and Leiter. Steve Smith has shot it down into the Islanders zone where Leiter picks it up. This is the third power play of the period for the Islanders, and the puck is deflected over the glass into the seat.
Boy, there's something that's embarrassing. Only putting it in your own net may be more embarrassing, as that puck stuck to the stick of Ken Leiter on the power play, and he flips it up into the seats. Islander fans showing their loyalty. The Islanders have gone now for 7+ minutes without a shot on goal.
Face off in the circle to the left of Kelly Rudy, and he had to come up with a stop right off the draw. Brent Sutter with the puck. Lays it back of the net to Leiter. McTavish and Messier killing it off up front for Edmonton. Leiter shoots it in from his own side of center ice. Derek King trying to reach in around Smith, couldn't do it, and that's going to be called for an icing.
Not a good choice of plays again for Ken Leiter. He had about 4 or 5 feet more to go and then shoot it. He'd have been on Edmonton's side of the red line, and then no icing. He's got to feel bad about that as he goes back to the bench. I'm sure that they'll talk about it back there. What he wants to do and what he's trying to do is get the puck across the blue line. Of course, I wasn't watching on this side of the ice to see where the winger was. If the winger is approaching the blue line, if he doesn't hurry the shot, it's going to be an offside. If he hangs onto it and doesn't shoot it, then he's got his teammates all stacked up along the blue line, standing still, and that's what the penalty killers of Edmonton would like.
Part of the thinking, too, would be to get the goaltender to come out and block it for a teammate. There goes any icing. The Islanders with the man advantage. The pass from Potvin to Sutter, now to LaFontaine into the middle. Couldn't set up Sutter. It's blocked at the defense and played across to Messier. He dumps it to center with 57 seconds left in the penalty to Keith Acton. Potvin from back of the net. Up it goes to Derek King, cuts to right wing, plays it back the other way to Brent Sutter. Drops it for LaFontaine, couldn't get to it. Johnson does. Johnson with a drive. That hit Muni, and he goes down heavily. The Oilers able to shoot it into the Islanders zone.
Got 2 Edmonton Oilers on the ice. I think Muni took that shot from Thomas Johnson on the inside of his leg. Glenn Anderson was down there in the center ice area. Thomas Johnson got a hold of him. We have a stoppage of play here in the second period with 8 minutes and 32 seconds remaining in the second period. A goal by Brent Sutter has made it 2-1. The Islanders are leading. It's a shot by Thomas Johnson on the inside of his leg. Watch at the top of your screen in the middle. There's Thomas Johnson. He's got time, picks it up, lets it fly. Bang. It hits Muni. It was on a left leg. As Thomas Johnson ripped it, he dropped down on his right knee, left his left leg dragging, and that's what it hit. Might have caught him on the ankle bone on the left side. He went off with a little help.
Still 35 seconds remaining in the Islander power play. Kevin Lowe put the puck in the Islander zone. It's picked up by Gerald Diddick. Trottier steps over it, and out comes Diddick with a pass to Trottier. Up the left wing side, across the Edmonton line, working on Huddy. The two of them go to the corner together. The puck loose, and Lowe moves it up the sideboards, and Krushelnyski slaps it down the ice. Ellie Rudy banks one out to Makela. Makela comes over center ice. Neat shift around Krushelnyski. Plays it back the other way to Potvin. It's being called on an offside.
Wow, that might be questionable, Mark Vines, only because the Islanders, I thought, had the puck across the line. They can bring it back onto the line, but not back over the line. Wonder if we can pick up something here that maybe they missed. Watch Mikko Makela. Does he get it across, all the way across the line? No, he doesn't. That's the offside. You can see at the top, Pat LaFontaine, I believe, offside on the other side of the ice, over on the left side. Watch the puck here. Does it go all the way over? No, it doesn't. There, you see it going along the line. It has to clear the line completely. It has to be in Edmonton's side of the line completely to allow the Islanders in.
Officials 1, replay 0. Across the line, Basson with a quick shot. Fuhr the save, big rebound, but Crom couldn't get it away from Huddy. Charlie Huddy plays it off Acton and out to center ice. Teams are at 6 aside. Crom checked at the Edmonton line. The puck goes to Huddy. Charlie Huddy went to play it rink wide to Simpson, and the Islanders break that up. It's Alan Kerr coming across the line. Kerr in some traffic plays it to the left wing boards and pulled up on Huddy. Huddy dumps it back of the net. Basson in after it. Basson centers one. Richard Crom overshot it. Now gets it into Basson. Basson puts it in front. There's Crom. He shoots it. He missed the net. Comes back to Johnson at the right point. Thomas Johnson with a shot. Blocked in front by Huddy. Charlie Huddy plays it to Curry. Gary Curry across the Islander line. The puck rolled off his stick. Cleared across the line. Brought back in, and no offside call this time. Conroy banks it off the boards to center ice. Bookeboom put it to the Islander line. Curry got bumped. And now a fight breaks out. Bookeboom and Kerr right at the side of the Islander players bench. Kerr tagging Bookeboom with that left hand. Now a right. Double rights. Oh, what they did in Atlantic City last night pales in comparison to this bout.
Wow, Alan Kerr, both fists too. We got another battle going along the blue line. Conroy.
Oh, this is a heavyweight bout. Conroy going at it with Kelly Buchberger. Buchberger was the 188th player chosen in the 1985 draft. When I was talking to Brad Lauer in the pregame show, I referred to it as the draft year of Wendell Clark.
Somebody's cut here pretty bad, too. There's a lot of blood on the ice. Might be Steve Conroy. Buchberger firing some pretty good punches. So did Steve Conroy. Buchberger, 6'2", 190 pounds. Conroy is giving away a little height and reach, obviously. But what had not been too many flare-ups in this hockey game, we have two at the same time. With a stoppage of play here, a break in the action with 6 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in a second period. The Islanders lead 2-1. We'll be right back.
Buy a new Subaru with...
He takes a hit from Alan Kerr. Then he stabs at Kerr. You see, then Kerr gives it back to him. You want to go? Yeah, we'll go. Come on, let's get at it here. Alan Kerr and Jeff Bookeboom. Kerr, I would give the decision to in that one. That is not Alan Kerr's blood, unless he's got a cut on the back of his neck or something, but I think that's Bookeboom. He landed some pretty good punches, both lefts and rights. And then at the blue line, Steve Conroy somehow got into a battle with Kelly Buchberger. And Conroy left some blood on the ice. I think Conroy, Buckberger is out of the game. Is that right? I was trying to listen to the...
Both players draw game misconduct penalties, fighting and game misconduct. When you're involved in a second fight now, with one is already going on, you get involved in another one, it's an automatic game misconduct, plus the fighting majors. So Buckberger and Conroy are finished for the night. Bokaboom and Kerr have each gone to the dressing rooms with 7 minutes in penalties and less than that remaining on the clock. So Steve Conroy returning after a 4-game suspension, doesn't get to play the whole game. The Islanders dump the puck in and the Oilers start out with it. This is Anderson into center ice. Over the Islander blue line, Anderson shoots one wide of Rudy, and there's Diddick. He lost it. Anderson, a backhander, hit the outside of the net. Brent Sutter pokes it into the corner. Anderson got to it, gave it away to Diddick. Moves it around the boards. Tikkanen had King lined up. His pass to Messier goes off his stick. Smith comes in, gets checked by Lauer, and the puck is cleared down into the Edmonton end. Then Anderson back for it. Gave it to Tikkanen, to Smith. Cross to the right side. Tikkanen into the Islanders zone. A wraparound off Potvin. Danny Potvin starts out with it. Checked from behind. The stick comes up. Down goes Tikkanen. And there will be a penalty to Dennis Potvin.
It's a high sticking penalty. They're going to examine now. If he's cut, unfortunately for the Islanders, it could be 5 minutes. Tikkanen is still on his knees. They're looking to see if there's any blood drawn. I would say right now, no, the way one of the Edmonton Oilers has gone trying to convince the referee to call a 5-minute major. Let's take a look. Tikkanen gets ahead of Dennis Potvin. There's the stick coming up, bang, across the forehead and the face. Tikkanen goes down like he was shot. A penalty to Potvin, but we'll have to wait and see what the numbers are involved. 5:56 remaining in the second period. The Islanders lead the Oilers 2-1. Break for the Islanders. It's a 5-minute major to Dennis Potvin for high sticking. 5 minutes and 56 seconds remain in the second period. The Islanders are ahead by 1. It was accidental, but it doesn't matter. Dennis Potvin is in the penalty box. He's now talking to Ron Koharski, and there's Tikkanen as he's getting some attention from the trainer for a cut, it would appear, around his lip area or inside his mouth. You can see blood on the ice now. The players generally scrape it up, but you can see now right near the center ice area, there is blood on the ice. So if there's that much, not many players will cut themselves or bite their lip hard enough to draw blood.
No, and I don't think Tikkanen's
No.
that kind of an individual.
No, he is definitely not in the market. Mark Messier, he gets involved. Look at his face. Wow.
Well, the Edmonton Oilers with a power play. They trail 2-1. A major penalty to Potvin for high sticking at 14:04 of the second period, and the Oilers go to work here.
It's about now that the Islanders are thankful that Gretzky is not in the lineup.
Yes, sir. Messier dumps it in. Anderson in after it, trying to pull it away from Leiter. Feeds it back to the right point. Now across to Lowe. Lowe finds an opening. His shot bounces up off the mask of Rudy, and he's covered it, held on.
Anderson took a swat at the rebound. He and Gordonine are now discussing it to the right of Kelly Rudy, but what a stop. Rudy now adjusting his mask. He's laughing through it. He's saying something to Gordonine. I think the puck may have hit him directly on the mask. He's saying, thank goodness I had the mask where it was and I had my head where it was. Here's Kevin Lowe, moves in. Look at the puck as it bounced up. He didn't get a lot. It deflected. Boom, it did. It hit Gordonine, then it hit Kelly Rudy on the mask. There's Glenn Anderson as he hammers at the rebound. No, that's not Anderson. That's Mark Messier. There's the shot. Boom, there's the puck in the air. Down drops Kelly Rudy as Messier tries to put the rebound in.
Oilers get the draw here. Kevin Lowe plays it to the right side and into Anderson. Comes in out of the corner. They move it back to the blue line. Odelin with a shot that's blocked and comes to center ice. Odelin and Lowe on the points. Curry up front with Messier and Anderson. Front end of the Edmonton power play. Brent Sutter just reached out and took Odelin down. Diddick puts it in on target.
Trust me when I tell you that Ron Koharski would not give the Islanders a penalty right now for just about anything. It would be nothing. I don't think the Islanders could do anything to draw a penalty.
Now Diddick in after the puck. Messier bumps him. Anderson trying to play it out in front. Can't do it. Daryl Diddick knocks it loose. Couldn't get it to Crom. Messier trying to put it in front. Goes behind the net instead with a pass to Curry. Curry to the side of the goal to Messier. Backs up into the face-off circle. Then to the right point. Plays it in deep to Curry. Curry centers. Lowe is there but couldn't get a stick on it. Basson checks Kevin Lowe. Basson got turned around by Lowe. Maintained control of the puck and dumps it down the ice.
Good job by Bobby Basson as he streaks to the Islanders bench along with the other 4 penalty killers.
The Oilers make one of those quick passes up the left wing into the Islanders zone. Krushelnyski gets to it. Trache trying to poke it loose. It comes back to Tikkanen. Tikkanen pulls it away from Brian Trache. Played it to the corner. Now back to the blue line. Smith lets one go. It's blocked by Trache. Smith held it in with a pass to Huddy. The Oilers trying to come out of the corner. Move it back to Smith. Smith to Tikkanen. Backs up on the boards. Now gets away from a check and a slap shot is in the skates of Leiter. Gilbert took the man. The Islanders can't clear it out. Here's Smith at the left side to Huddy. Right back to Smith. Smith moves in along the boards. Plays it to the side of the net. It's centered by Tikkanen. That comes back to Huddy. Charlie Huddy into the corner for Tikkanen. 2.5 minutes gone in the power play. Tikkanen centers one. It's tipped and in the net. Bad break in the case of the Islanders. They killed it so well, and then they get one of those deflections to beat Rudy and tie it at 2.
2 minutes and 32 seconds still remain on Dennis Potvin's major penalty. The puck deflected off a couple of skates. I think Simpson, believe it or not, who opened the scoring in the hockey game, the first goal. There's the play, 1-2. It went off the right skate of Simpson, off Kelly Rudy's left skate, and then got in behind him. He did not see it at all, and it's tied at 2 apiece. Edmonton is still on the power play. There's the shot as it comes through. Watch the right skate. There's Simpson. He made a motion for it. There, it hit the left inside of Kelly Rudy's before he could do anything about it. His 32nd goal of the season for Simpson, and it's a 2-2 tie.
He has scored 4 times against the Islanders since being traded to this Edmonton team. Messier dumps the puck in. Anderson after. Rudy slaps it off the glass. It comes outside the line. So the Oilers set up in center ice. Tikkanen and Huddy got the assists on that goal. Yeah, the Oilers bounce it in wide. And the Islanders able to clear it out. 1 minute, 56 seconds left in the penalty to Dennis Potvin. A major for high sticking. The Edmonton Oilers come into the Islanders zone but do not have the puck. Messier drops it back to Jari Kurri. Goes to the left side to Anderson. And Anderson is checked. Gets it right back from Johnson. Comes in on goal. The pass to the right side. Krushelnyski to Anderson. It went off Johnson's stick. Anderson is bumped and Diddick gets a handle on it and clears it to the line. Richard Crom moves up with Basson. Crom upended. Able to clear it into the Edmonton zone as Curry took Crom down. We hear the crowd reacting to that.
Gerald Diddick, with a couple of good defensive moves in his own end of the ice, was able to get the puck into the center ice area.
Now Tikkanen backhands it into the Islanders zone. Trache gets to the puck. Trache pulls it away from one man, then runs into the check. Tikkanen right on top of him. Dineen in a battle for it. Got it to the point, but not out. Here's Kevin Lowe. Lowe pulling to the right side. Makes the play across. Odelin with a shot. Rudy the pad save, and the puck goes back to the net. Oilers put it out in front. It comes back to the blue line for Lowe. Lowe plays it in around the boards to Mike Krushelnyski. Tried to set up Simpson in front. It's banged wide of the net. And the penalty called. Referee Don Koharski. Is it a penalty or ruling that it was knocked down?
It's a high stick, Jiggs. It was a high stick around the net. Simpson hit it with a high stick, knocked it down, and one of the Edmonton Oilers, possibly Krushelnyski, recovered it behind the net. So the faceoff will come all the way down to Grant Fuhr's end of the ice, where the puck has not been for quite some time. 38 seconds remaining on Dennis Potvin's major penalty. Wednesday at 8:30, the Islanders return to SportsChannel when they take on Herb Brooks' Minnesota North Stars. That's the Islanders versus the North Stars, Wednesday at 8:30, right here on SportsChannel. Boy, talk about a team that's really hurting. They can't win with a full team, and they've got almost 10 regulars out of the lineup looking for just about anybody to fill a sweater. Lou Nanne doesn't know what to do.
You have to be able to skate, too.
Not necessarily. He was talking to Bill Goldsworthy the other day, who's now doing some work for Minnesota. Bill says, "You want me to dress? Want me to suit up?"
30 seconds to go in this major penalty. Tikkanen dumps it in offside at the Islander blue line, and there's no further play. 1 minute and 21 seconds remaining in the period. 25 seconds left in the penalty. 2-2 is your score.
I got to tell you, it doesn't pay to win a golf tournament at training camp. You remember the story we were talking about when we were in Edmonton about Mo Mantha come in, went to the Edmonton Oilers, played in their training camp golf tournament. He won it with a 76, and then they turned around and trade him. So he'll be able to keep his golf game alive. Of course, Kevin Lowe was the guy that said, "Listen, no wonder you're a good golfer. While you were playing golf, we were winning Stanley Cups."
You wonder a little bit about Mantha. Started in Winnipeg, went to Pittsburgh, to Edmonton, and now Minnesota. 4 teams and 8 seasons, and he's only 27 years of age.
And he's a good hockey player.
Yes.
Last minute play in the period.
1 minute to go in the second period, and time runs out on the major penalty to Potvin. Moving into the Edmonton zone, Basson left the puck for Potvin, gave it to Janssen, moves right in, shoots. Van Fuhr, the pad save, it comes back to Leiter. Leiter with a drive, Fuhr down to make that save, and here's Anderson on left wing. Shot it into the center ice zone. Leiter drops back on the Islander defense. Gave it to Potvin. Potvin right back to Leiter. Leiter's pass off the stick, picked up by Potvin, comes over the Edmonton line around Kevin Lowe, then is checked by McSorley. Fontaine unable to knife through the defense, and Krushelnyski gets to center ice. Leiter rides him into the boards. The Islanders move it out. Lauer dumps it into the Edmonton zone, forcing Fuhr to play it. And Fuhr found a teammate open, and the Islanders get to him quickly. Brad Lauer kicked it back to Dineen, into Lauer. Lauer's pass to Wood, shoots one that was blocked, and then the rebound is kicked aside by Fuhr as LaFontaine collided with Lowe, and there's the horn ending the second period. LaFontaine getting up slowly. Kevin Lowe gets up even slower. The Islanders had taken a lead. The Oilers come back and get a power play goal on a major penalty to Potvin. And we played 40 minutes here at the Nassau Coliseum with your score. The Islanders 2, the Edmonton Oilers 2. We'll be back with a recap following these messages.
The action.
Well, I found out a few days ago, and I was absolutely thrilled. A little shocked, a little thrilled, and certainly honored.
Certainly shows another side of Mike Keenan, the Flyers coach, doesn't it?
Well, I certainly think so. There's no question in my mind that there are, a lot of good young defensemen out there who deserve to go there, but I suppose in a situation like this, all the factors had to be considered, and I'm very happy Mr. Keenan made the decision he did.
Some people were asking why was a major penalty called. We couldn't see it from our position at ice level. What happened? Give me your interpretation.
Well, it's really the weakest of the links, of a major penalty, because it did draw blood, but the player was back-checking on me, and he had speed on me, and I just couldn't get a hold of the puck to move it ahead. And when he finally got in front of me, I then tried to hold him back, and we fought for the puck, and my stick came up. It was totally accidental, but it did cut him, and I suppose Kowarski felt there was no recourse but to call a 5-minute major. But as I say, it should be a judgment call in a situation like that. I see near decapitations out there that are only penalized for 2 minutes.
Denny, your impressions of the game after 2 periods?
Well, I don't think that it's as fast a game as we've seen between the two teams before, but I think I see both teams working hard. It's not easy out there for anybody, and I think the players are working hard, and we're going to see a great third period.
You received an award for doing work for the Cerebral Palsy Foundation. A lot of people don't know that side of Denny Potvin. What do you do for them?
Well, I'm an honorary chairman and have been for 8 years, and the only thing that I really miss is I'd like to be part of the telethon, but we're always playing or traveling, and it's very difficult for me to make myself available. But I've been supporting the United Cerebral Palsy for 8 years, and I think it's a wonderful cause, and I'm only one of the very few players on our team who get involved with social activities.
The team has had some problems. What is the spirit like? What's the feeling in the dressing room?
Well, it's not as good as it should be. There's no question. We're not winning enough, and when we're winning, we're not putting enough games together. The players, as you would expect, become a little doubtful of their skills and of each other, and I think that the main thing is to keep a good head on our shoulders and not to look for the excuses or the other people to blame. We're just basically a team that has to work hard, and things will turn around.
Congratulations on the All-Star invitation. Jiggs?
All right, Stan, Denny Potvin recording his 12th goal of the season here tonight, his 303rd career goal. The Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers are tied 2-2 after 40 minutes of
Strong
play.
skating team, but tonight, you know, they came out and they've thrown a lot of body checks, and we have to do the same, keeping the game with them.
Do you think Kelly Buchberger deliberately started the fight with Steve Conroy to get him out of the hockey game?
I was busy, Stan, at the moment. I didn't really see it. I had my hands full with Big Bookaboom, so I was just trying to handle myself.
Why did that start? I mean, what did he do to you, or what did you do to him to get it going?
Well, I was just coming off the ice. It was, you know, a long shift for me, and he had the puck, and I hit him a little bit late, and he took exception to it, and he took a little swing with his stick at me, so off the gloves went.
A big guy, you seem to hold your own or even have an edge.
Well, he is big, you know, and the thing for me, I had to get in close on him, and unfortunately I was tired, but you know, fortunately I did okay.
Any word on how Pat LaFontaine is?
I don't know. I was in the room and he was icing his wrist, so I'm not sure what happened. If he got a slash or what, I missed it. I was in the restroom. I know Stevie took a few stitches, but he's gone for the game anyway.
Al Kerr, thanks very much for coming. We'll have more right after this.
The word we had that his right wrist, we think it might, I thought it was his left wrist, but either way, he's got a wrist problem as Kelly Rudy prepares his net.
Nice little note for you. Kelly celebrated his 27th birthday earlier this month. You know who will be 27 on Tuesday?
Not you or me.
And not that man either.
No, he's a long way from there yet.
But 99, Wayne Gretzky will be 27 on Tuesday. I don't have a home address for you to send your cards to, folks, but...
Yeah, Craig Simpson, 2 goals tonight. He now leads the Edmonton Oilers in that department, goal scoring. Gosh, it's odd. I think it's not since 1979-80 has Gretzky had anybody either tied with him or ahead of him at this point in the season in scoring, but just in goals, Craig Simpson traded in the Paul Coffey deal. I know Eddie Johnson did not want to give him up, but if you're going to get quality, you usually have to give it. And they gave up quality with Craig Simpson. He's growing a beard, looks like he's in the act. I guess when you've scored 32 goals so far in the season, you can do anything you want.
Well, they finish up this road trip in Pittsburgh on Monday night. Pittsburgh is still leading the Montreal Canadiens 1-0 at the Forum. You look at Glenn Sather, the 44-year-old boss of the Edmonton Oilers.
I have a present for him. I'm going to give it to him when the Edmonton Oilers come back here. I think, what, 26th of March, they return to the Coliseum to play the Islanders. Yes, March 26th. I have a gift for Mr. Glenn Slats Sather.
Any hints as to what it might be?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it when we get a minute. I'd mentioned it to him once before, and he said he would love to have it for his office or his home.
Oh, it's that old black and white picture of the two of you as teammates.
Yes, did you see that tonight? I don't think I've ever bought it. It's too big. Yes, it is. It's a picture taken in the Boston Garden.
Teams are at 6 aside. Despite the major penalties and coincidental penalties, and now some lumber being laid on Anderson as he moved from back of the Islander net. In the meantime, Diddick fires one high and wide of Brant Fuhr's location, and Eric King is down in a heap. He got a whack, I believe. He had given Anderson a push, and it seems to me that number 9 was the last player in the vicinity of Derek King before he went down on the ice.
Boy, crumpled over in a lot of pain anyway, and he's slow getting up. Craig Smith comes out now to check into it. He's down, and he is in a lot of pain.
Derek King suffered a broken wrist, a small bone in his wrist, and he missed several games before going to Springfield of the American Hockey League. He was out 8 games, and Craig Smith is attending to him.
Well, he is. There's no question he is hurting, and now Craig is what he's trying to do is ascertain where. He's not sure just where he's hurt, one, and how he got hurt, so he's got to know. Let's take a look. Here's Gerald Diddick. There's the shot. It rises up quickly. Derek King either got speared or slashed. The puck didn't have anything to do with him getting hurt. It was not close to him, but you see him bent over, and then he slumped to his knees. Now, as you had talked about, he had a broken wrist. We can only hope that that hasn't reoccurred, but you know, you don't want anybody, when you get hurt and you're hurt bad as far as the pain element, you don't really want anybody to touch you, go near you. It accentuates the pain, it really does. You want to be left alone. You don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to see anybody. And it's obvious by the way he's going to the dressing room that he is in a lot of pain and he is injured. His hand, wrist, arm, something. Unfortunately, we don't think we have anything at this point that shows. We know that Anderson was close to him. That's all we can tell you.
Well, that came as a result of King pushing Anderson in the Islander end of the ice just prior to the play moving out. 2-2 is the score. Greg McTavish carries the puck into the Islanders' zone. It's in on the near side and is rubbed out by Diddick's check. Coffey moves it to the right side for Kerr, off the boards to Dale Henry. Henry over the line with Brent Sutter. Henry shot blocked. The rebound is kicked loose. And the Oilers able to move it out to center ice. Dineen slaps it right back off the skates of Henry. He collided with Kerr, and here's a break for Edmonton, but they go offside. Anderson moving in on right wing. Still gave Rudy a few head shakes after the whistle had sounded.
Well, we got in trouble, didn't we, in the playoffs, saying something about, you know, he walks to the beat of a different drummer. I read in the newspaper article somewhere that Sather and some of the other Edmonton people, look at the move here by Anderson. There's no doubt about his ability. He's a tremendous player. The thing that I'm wondering about is that if he slashed and injured Derek King, nobody from the Islanders has made any kind of emotion, remark at all toward him. Now, whether the whole world missed it or not, usually the players know what goes on the ice. We'll have to find out. I'm a little puzzled by what happened to Derek King.
Yeah, I am too.
It was a little behind the play and off to the side. That's why I didn't see it.
Greg Simpson into the Islanders' zone. Dineen poked the puck loose. Makela kicks it out into the center ice area. Got a new stick at the bench. Can't get over the center ice stripe as Curry came back. Oilers play it into center ice. Dineen takes it off the boards. Goes rink wide to Trottier and went off his stick. Greg Muni plays it ahead to Curry. Gilbert knocks it loose. Curry able to recover in time to clear it. Dineen stepped in front of Simpson, and now Leiter goes back into his own zone. Plays it around the left wing for Greg Gilbert to the line. Muni gets a stick on it. His shot cleared away. Comes through in front, and Curry can't relay it. Back of the net, the Oilers set it up again. Acton this time shoots it off Trottier. And Kelly Rudy plays the left wing boards. The Islanders having trouble getting it out, and now clear the puck to center for Kevin Lowe. Lowe waits, gets into the Islanders zone. Pulls up, plays it into Curry. Curry centers one across, just out of the reach of Hannon, and out comes Brad Lauer. Lauer over center ice, into the Edmonton zone, can't get through the defense. Charlie Huddy with a pass that deflects to center for Potvin. Over to the right side to Wood. Plays it around the boards, and Wood gets hit and shoved headfirst into the Edmonton players' bench. Back out on the ice again. Potvin plays it to the corner. Wood in after it. Randy Wood centers a backhander. Fury the save, and he covers the rebound as LaFontaine got another poke at it. The Islanders applying some pressure now. Little more than 17 minutes remaining in the third period. It's still a 2-2 tie.
Effects of a sore wrist by Pat LaFontaine. Look at the nice play by Randy Wood. There's one shot by LaFontaine, two shots, and Grant Fuhr, with some help from his friends, Yari Curry, one of them, holds off Pat LaFontaine, an Islanders scoring opportunity.
Fontaine on the face-off against Krushelnyski, and the Oilers get the draw. Hardy played it to the left side, back into the middle, now to McSorley on right wing. McSorley worked it back of the net. Krushelnyski centering this line, drops it back. Here's Huddy with a shot. Rudy the save, and the rebound is poked away by Rudy. McSorley along with Krushelnyski, and now Hannon circling. Hannon shot from the point, sails high, bounces out in front. There's Johnson. Plays it up the boards. Huddy held it in with a pass to McSorley. He's checked by LaFontaine, and the puck goes loose. Smith comes back. Wood moved up the forecheck. Now Lauer runs into Smith as Potvin plays it across to the right side for Brent Sutter. Right between the skates of Randy Wood, and the Oilers get to it. Hannon dumps it into the Islanders zone. Rudy leaves it for Potvin as Messier came into forecheck. The Islanders move out on the left side, but Anderson steals the puck at center. Here's Messier to Anderson. Anderson trying to get in around Deneen. Does. Rudy beats him. Anderson got in tight, and Kelly Rudy up with a key save.
What a stop by Kelly Rudy off Glenn Anderson, the acting captain in the absence of injured Wayne Gretzky. Best stop of the game for Kelly Rudy. He's had some beauties. Watch Anderson as he's smooth. He's got nice moves there as he steps around. Gord Deneen gets in behind him. Deneen falls. There's the shot. Kelly Rudy outguessed him, beat him, and hung on, stopping the play.
Anderson on the left, Messier at center, McClelland on the right. Taking the face-off is Brent Sutter against Messier. Anderson standing in the face-off circle. They drop the puck anyway. Messier fails to get to it. Here's Henry sending Sutter over center ice. Into the Edmonton zone, and the puck knocked away from him. Coming back for it is Deneen. Played it off the boards, and it's held in by Messier. Couldn't shift around Henry in time. Now Messier makes the pass across out of the reach of Lowe. Lowe taps it back to the net. Deneen steps in front of McClelland. Messier takes it from Anderson, puts it to the side of the net. That's cleared. Leiter lost it again to Messier. Can't center it. Kenny Leiter moves it up the boards. Greg Muni with it at the right point. A shot blocked by Sutter. The Islanders move up 3-on-2. Sutter across the Edmonton line, gave it to Dale Henry, and Anderson steps in front of Kerr to break up the return pass. Anderson dumps it into center ice. That's Diddick coming back. Off the boards to Henry. Henry played it out over the line. Curry waits, dropped it back. Here's Smith backhanding it in off Diddick. Ryan Trottier can't pick it up. Dale Henry does. Henry plays it out to the far side, but it's knocked down by Simpson. Johnson steps in front of him. Acton moves in for a shot that went wide. Dale Henry bumped on the boards with Curry. The Oilers play it back in the net to Acton. Acton trying to stuff it in from the side of the net, and Rudy down covers it, and now the referee goes down. They got into a collision with Dale Henry. And Derek King is returning from the Islander dressing room. So we've got some good news, even though Don Koharski gets a chuckle out of the fact that he was down on the deck. A break here at the Coliseum. It's still a 2-2 tie.
Leading 2-1 over Buffalo in the second period. Minnesota trailing Hartford in the second 5-0. It was 4-0 at the end of one. St. Louis trailed Quebec 2-1 in the second period. And Pittsburgh still hold a 1-0 lead over Montreal at a first period score also.
Here it's 2-2 at the Coliseum. The Oilers making their first of two visits this season. We'll be back again on Saturday night, March 26th. Potvin with a pass up the middle off Trottier, played back into the Islander zone, and Diddick moves it across to Gilbert. Right, Gilbert to Trottier. Couldn't get it back to Gilbert, who had gone to the front of the net. Cleared around the boards. There's Makela in the far corner. He is checked by Huddy, and McTavish plays it out into the center ice zone. Simpson brings it over the line on right wing. Huddy trailing the play, shoots one. Rudy the save. The rebound is there, and Potvin starts out with it. Kenny Potvin clears it into the Edmonton territory. Kevin Lowe back for the Oilers. Just over 14 minutes remaining in the third period. Lowe across to Huddy. Huddy pulled it away from Lauer and shot it in deep. Dean takes it out of the corner. Almost gave it away as Krushelnyski moved into the open spot. The Islanders unable to get into the Edmonton zone, and Deneen has it again, gets double teamed and clears it up the middle. Kevin Lowe recovers inside the Edmonton territory. Gave it to Muni. Across to the far side, bounces off the boards into center ice, and Leiter comes back. Kenny Leiter to Pat LaFontaine. Fontaine to Randy Wood on right wing. Wood fires one that's blocked. Wood taken out on the boards. The puck comes back to Deneen. Dumps it into the corner. Wood goes in after it, skirting a check. Gave it to Lauer. Lauer comes out of the corner, feeds it back to Potvin at the left point. Potvin shot to a screen, skips off a stick and wide. And here come the Edmonton Oilers. Dave Hannon over center ice. Lost it at the Islander blue line. That's cleared back by Deneen. And lets it go for Huddy. McSorley, and he shoots one high over the glass and on into the seats. Play stoppage with just a little more than 13 minutes left in the third period.
Derek King returning to the Islanders bench. I'm told or led to believe that it was his left arm that he was cracked over. And I'll tell you, you get pretty gun shy when you've had a broken wrist and somebody cracks you a good one. Your hand, it's an arm paralyzer. Your whole hand goes numb. You don't feel anything from the spot you got hit down. It's up on the forearm, and there's a spot just above the gloves where the shoulder pads and the gloves don't meet. If you get hacked through there, It's like getting your arm chopped off because you don't feel anything.
King back out on this line with Brent Sutter and Kerr. It was King playing it into the Edmonton zone, and that's being called for icing. 16,130 on hand at the Coliseum tonight. That's 167 shy of a sellout.
Well, we'll call it a sellout for all intent and purpose. Maybe there were some people that had tickets that didn't show up. Derek King, in his last 7 games, a goal and 5 assists. Skated well tonight in the hockey game. He had 22 games, was sent down to play in the minors at Springfield along with the rest of the guys on Gord Lane's team. They recalled him for Hartford, played well in Hartford, and had played fairly well in this hockey game.
Cleland tying up the puck along with Poffan back of the Islander net. Johnson is there as well. Anderson kicking at it. Brent Sutter gets to the puck. The pass to Derek King. King cuts to the right, backhands it into the Edmonton zone. Kerr goes in after it, gets tangled up in the play with defenseman Steve Smith. Oilers cleared up the right point. Here comes Dineen. Or Dineen fired one in front. It's tipped in by Kerr.
An alert play by Gord Dineen. He came way up the ice. He came quickly. He could see what was happening as the puck bounced off the boards. Here's Gordy Dineen, grabs it, walks around the forward, then he blasts it. Alan Kerr deflects it between the legs of Charlie Huddy. His 15th goal of the season for Alan Kerr. Gord Dineen, what a move here as he walked around McSorley. Then he drifted it across in front of the net where Alan Kerr was positioned there off the back of Kerr's stick into the lower left-hand corner. And the Islanders have regained a 1-goal lead on Kerr's 15th goal of the season. A beauty. Good play by Gord Dineen. He had made some mistakes defensively, but he had made up for them offensively, and that was a big one.
Gordy Dineen coming late. The Islanders lead 3-2 on home ice. Curry gets it in front. Tikkanen is checked as he turned around. The Oilers play it back of the Islander goal off Muni's stick. It comes right out in front, and Rudy beats Yari Curry.
Yari Curry, his shot, I think he misfired on it. He was left all alone in front of Kelly Rudy. Rudy makes the stop. It was like a changeup that often fool goaltenders. Here's the play from behind the net. The puck goes to the front. There's Yari Curry's shot, speared by Kelly Rudy. Ken Leiter couldn't control it. There it is. You could see it flip. It gave just enough time for Kelly Rudy to get another look at it. He got the catching glove up, made the save. So often we've seen those kinds of plays. The goaltender reaches out in total reflex and moves right by with his glove where the puck he thinks would certainly be if it was shot hard, and it gets by him. Kelly Rudy held his cool, made a nice stop.
Have a natural goal scorer like Curry, point blank on Rudy, and the goaltender is the winner. Kerr brings it in offside at the Edmonton blue line.
Harry Curry holds the record for right wingers, goals by right winger. That time, he couldn't add to the total.
He had 10 game-winning goals last season, half of them in games that they won from the Vancouver Canucks.
Well, there it is. Needs 2 goals to tie Reggie Leach, 32nd on the all-time NHL list. 381. Reggie Leach. Boy, there was a natural score.
Yes,
not a very good skater, but boy, could he shoot the puck.
The rifleman.
Yes.
From Cannington, Ontario.
Cannington, Ontario. Original Boston Bruins property.
What a character. Wood taken down in the center ice area. The puck back into the Edmonton zone, and Kevin Lowe has it. Lowe plays it up left wing, just out of the reach of Tikkanen, and goes in after it, bumping with Diddick. Potvin got a stick on it, sends Lauer up the left side. Lauer goes rink wide to Wood across the Edmonton line, trying to get around Lowe. Wood centers one, and they crash into the boards heavily. And referee Don Koharski wastes no time in calling the play. 11 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in this third period. The goal by Alan Kerr has given the Islanders a 3-2 lead.
No, it's the Edmonton Whiners. All right, homemade shirt. Saw Randy Wood. What a pileup behind Grant Fuhr in his net. 4 big bodies go crashing in. They all got up and left.
Trache out at center ice. Makela on the right steals the puck. Got it through in front of that shot from Trache. Just went wide. The Oilers unable to move it out. Gilbert plays it back of the net. Smith turns away from Makela, banks it off the boards, and that goes over the glass and on into the seats. I feel like the morning disc jockey. Happy birthday to Greg Gilbert. He was 26 years of age yesterday. Another guy that shared yesterday as a birthday, a teammate of Greg Gilbert's until this season when a back injury kept him out. Michael Bossy. He'd been up in the executive box with Bill Torrey, but is not there now. And Mark Messier, happy birthday, Mark. He was 27 this past Monday.
A lot of good hockey left in the birthday boys the last few days. Never forget the playoff that Messier had when they dethroned the Islanders as Stanley Cup champions.
Well, Kevin Lowe and I were talking about that before the game tonight, reminiscing and trying to remember how many players from both teams are still playing today. McTavish shot one wide. And then Kevin got talking about the 81 Stanley Cup playoffs between these two teams, and even fewer players left from that year. This is Charlie Huddy into the center ice area. Dumps it in. Larry King plays it around the boards to Potvin. Potvin rink wide. Alan Kerr gets to it in front of the Edmonton bench. Picked it up again, but it's offside as he moved into the Edmonton zone.
Brent Sutter got a little jump on them. He could see what was happening. He wanted to get across the line. Let's update the out-of-town scores around the National Hockey League. Here it's 3-2. The Islanders have taken the lead. Alan Kerr's 15th goal at 7:39 of the third period. But the Islanders ahead 3-2. Pittsburgh was still ahead of Montreal. That must be quite a hockey game. 1-0. It was in the first period still.
We'll get you an update on that one. Plus an update from Buffalo. We have a couple of technical problems that we're working out. Got the numbers into the machine. The machine just won't put them on the screen right now. Oilers backhanding it into the Islanders zone off Krushelnyski's stick. Gerald Diddick gets to it. Plays it around the left side for Richard Crom to Denny Potvin. For Alan Kerr. Kerr makes the pass to Basson. Moves in on the right wing board. Pulls up on low. Basson centers it in front out of the reach of Crom, who had burst toward the net. The Oilers. McSorley drop pass for Krushelnyski, and that's cleared by Cron, picked up by Kerr. Alan Kerr all alone on the left side, shoots one. Fjord down to make the save. Shuffled it across to Dave Hannon. Hannon leaves it back to the net. Smith gets to it. But midway through the third period, the Islanders nursing a 3-2 lead on home ice. Andy Leiter plays it up the boards. Lauer goes in after it. Lauer in off left wing, chased behind the net by Smith, and is taken off the puck. Anderson dumps it out to center ice. Leiter is there. Leiter for Gord Denis. Shoots it in off the boards. Gord leaves it for Smith. He's chased by Randy Wood. Steve Smith able to make the pass to Anderson. Anderson into the Islanders zone. Goes wide on Diddick. Chased back in the net and taken into the glass. Puck comes out in front. Muni with a shot. Hits someone in front of the net and comes to the left side. Held in by Messier with a pass to Anderson. Diddick ties him up. Loose puck and LaFontaine can't clear it out. That shot from McClellan got through and Rudy blocks it. The Islanders play it out into center ice. Back goes Craig Muni. Lauer into forecheck. Muni plays it to right wing for Lowe. Up to Messier. Off his skates into the Islanders zone. Potvin gets to the puck. McClellan wraps up Potvin. Alan Kerr clears it to the line. Rule the Oilers kept it in. They get an opportunity, but Johnson intercepts the pass intended for Messier. Johnson played it into center. The Oilers shoot it right back into the Islanders zone off Potvin. Denny Potvin with a pass to Johnson. Up to Brent Sutter. Sutter over center ice, shoots it into the Edmonton zone. Ronnie Huddy got back. Gave it to Yari Curry. Lost it to Brent Sutter. Sutter with a drive. He scores!
No goal. It's being waved off. Koharski is giving a penalty to the Islanders for interference. Alan Kerr got tangled up with the goaltender, Grant Fuhr. There's the signal for interference. What was an Islander 2-goal lead is now a penalty instead to the Islanders as Don Koharski The minute Fuhr hit the ice, he got up, the puck was in, and he went right towards Koharski, who called the penalty immediately as Brent Sutter's shot entered the net. Glenn Sather watches calmly. Quick turnaround here. The Islanders had a 2-goal lead for a half a second. The puck goes around the boards. Picked up by Kerr. Watch in front of the net now. There's Alan Kerr as he skates out, runs into the goaltender, pulls him off the goalpost. Alan Kerr raises his arm. Fuhr gets up, somewhat furious, says, wait a minute. Koharski waves it off. It's no goal, and the Islanders will be a man short.
Well, this is very borderline. Look where Fuhr is, up on the goal crease. He didn't get him in the crease.
Koharski never hesitated, although Fuhr did have contact with the goal crease itself, the line in the goal crease. Alan Kerr was not a malicious move, but he did kind of back up, running into him.
So instead of a 2-goal lead, the Islanders are a man short. Kerr off for interference at 12:19, and the Oilers start from deep in their own zone. It's Charlie Huddy with a pass to Curry. Curry over center, right off Leiter. Krushelnyski are in after it here on the right wing corner. Plays it back in the net to Curry. And it goes to Smith. Rudy grabs that and holds on.
Smith trying to one-time it. Got it up just a little too high. He realized, but when you're one-timing it, a lot of times you don't have control, particularly when you get it out near the end of the stick, which he did. There it is, went up high. Kelly Rudy down protecting the low ice, figuring from that range he has time to move his arms to get anything that's shot high.
Who is the first player that you recall one-timing the puck? I ask this only because I got into a discussion on it the other night with Darcy Regier, the Islanders director of hockey operations.
Well, if I can remember back when players have one-timed it. I mean, Howe was so good at it. He'd shoot that puck when he got a drop pass from Alex Dalvicchio or a pass across. He could shoot that thing like a bullet, low and hard and accurate, but it wasn't done as often as you see it today. More players, I think what I'm really saying, more players can do it now than ever. Who do you think was the first?
Huddy on the power play shot it wide. Well, the discussion is Trache knocks the puck away from Smith. Huddy comes back. Discussion centered around Boreas Salming doing it on a consistent basis. Probably the first time that we saw it done consistently in the NHL. Huddy with a shot just wide of Rudy. It bounces off the glass. Trache knocks it away from Huddy. It's held in by Krushelnyski. Plays it rink wide. Curry slaps it to the corner. And Potvin gets to it. Backhanded it. It's knocked down. Curry is checked from behind as Potvin leveled him. Krushelnyski takes it back in the net. Can't center it. Greg Gilbert ties him up. Now it's Smith in deep. Comes to the opposite corner. Dropped it back for Tikkanen. From back of the net. Tikkanen trying to play like Gretzky here. Centers it out to Huddy. To the blue line. Smith to Curry. Curry can't find anybody open. Holds it, makes the play back to Smith, and he plays it into Huddy. Huddy's shot off Potvin and wide. Huddy from back of the net. Couldn't get anybody in front of the net to touch it. It comes back to Smith. Over to Huddy. Into Curry, who misses it. Diddick steps in front of Tikkanen. 3 Oilers back of that goal line. And they control the puck, and it's tipped away by Trache and comes to center ice. 5 seconds remaining, and Kerr's interference penalty. Big kill here for the Islanders. They killed him off. And continue with a 3-2 lead over the Edmonton Oilers. Messier is checked by Makela. Edmonton back into their own zone. And Fuhr plays it up the boards into the skates of Brent Sutter. Sutter puts it to the corner. There's Lowe. Lowe bumped by Kerr. Kerr plays it back in the net. Then after it is Brent Sutter. Sutter plays it back the other way. Lowe chasing it down. Evan Lowe to Messier. His pass of Badwood. Oilers get to it again. Anderson dumps it to center. There's Leiter. The Islanders clogging up the center ice area at the moment. Anderson into the Islanders zone on right wing. Anderson, a pass across to the left point for Lowe. Lowe, a drive, blocked. The rebound is there. Anderson can't get the backhander away. And Derek King has shot it down the ice.
Fine move by Derek King. Held his balance. Alan
Edmonton was going to get a free crack at an open net. Kelly Rudy was laying on the ice. It's a 3-2 Islander lead, 4:45 remaining in the third period. The puck, he just kind of dances it in front. Look at the nice stop by Kelly Rudy. He falls to the ice. There, Alan Kerr has a problem with Anderson. Look at the check by Derek King from behind as he lifted up the stick of Anderson, prevented him from shooting it in the top of the net. With Kelly Rudy at his mercy down on the ice, Anderson with an easy shot in the top, stripped of the puck by Derek King.
Messier, Anderson, and Simpson up front for the Edmonton Oilers. Tranche out with Gilbert. And McAuliffe for the Islanders. Potvin almost gave it away. Oakabone held it in. Now he brought it outside the line and shot it in offside.
Close call. Dennis Potvin misfired again, trying to be sure of his passes. Got checked from behind. The puck come off his stick, soft, intercepted momentarily. There's Potvin as he picks up the puck. He checked from behind by Simpson. There's his pass. Lost control of the pass. The puck bounced off the defenseman, Muni, and out into the center ice area. Come back in quickly, but it was offside. Remaining in the third period. Let's out-of-town scores. It's now 3-3. Buffalo and Washington in the third period. 5-0 Hartford in the third over Minnesota. And 2-2 Quebec and St. Louis, also a third period score.
Richard Crom puts the puck to the side of the Edmonton net. Taken down is Kerr. Play goes on. Oilers into the Islander zone. Messier on left wing, and Janssen knocks it off his stick. Richard Crom can't pick it up. Anderson is bumped by Janssen. Janssen reaching out. Played it to Crom. Lowe gathers it in at the blue line, then lost it to Janssen. Thomas Janssen with a pass up into the center ice area for Kerr. He backhands it into the Edmonton zone. Muni takes it off the right wing boards for Edmonton. Up to center. Simpson is tripped to the puck by Gilbert. Gilbert is tripped up. Play continues. Here's Smith over the line. He gets checked. Or Deneen plays it to right wing for McAuliffe. Moves up with Gilbert. McAuliffe comes in off right wing. He shoots. Cure the save. The rebound is picked up and cleared by Honey. Oilers break out of their own zone. Krushelnyski is checked by McAuliffe. 3.5 minutes to go. The Islanders lead 3-2 on home ice over the Edmonton Oilers. Leiter drops it back to Deneen. Deneen shooting it off the boards into the Edmonton zone. Charlie Huddy gets to it. Bauer into forecheck. Huddy plays it to the left side. Now back to Curry. Curry gets it right back from Tikkanen. Curry moves in and the shot deflects, goes off the glass. Krushelnyski is there into Tikkanen. Tikkanen trying to come out of the corner. It's not loose and down the ice off Tranche's stick. Fleur quickly gives it to Lowe. Evan Lowe plays it into the center ice area. Shot into the Islanders zone. Potvin falling. The puck comes back to Muni at the right point. Muni to Curry. Puts it back in the net. There's Potvin. Acton in forechecking. Potvin fed it to Basson. Basson's pass into center ice. Brent Sutter can't get over the blue line as Lowe steps in front of him. Then Crom bumps Lowe. It's an offside play, and Crom becomes a target as 3, now 4 Oilers go after him. Pushed around in front of the Edmonton players bench and is pushed away from there by linesman Mark Fines. Cooler heads prevail. 2 minutes and 39 seconds left in the third period. Your score here at the Nassau Coliseum is the Islanders 3, the Oilers 2.
Lowe gets things stirred up here. Crom, as he crossed the blue line, Lowe went to play the puck. He did the right thing. He walked straight into Lowe. That hurt him. A good hard check. Acton, the new acquisition, hits him from one side. One of the defensemen, Muni, I believe, hit him from the other. Richard Crom figures, what the heck's going on? All I did was hit him with a good stiff shoulder. Legal check, stick was down. Rocketed Kevin Lowe.
Leiter with a shot that's deflected up into the seats. He shot it from well outside the Edmonton blue line, and it ended up in section 109. Well, the Islanders in Minnesota to play the North Stars on Wednesday night, in Buffalo next Friday. And a week from tonight, the Montreal Canadiens come to the Coliseum.
Right now, Montreal trailing, oh no, yeah, they were trailing the Pittsburgh Penguins 1-0. 1-1 now, I get a signal. 2 players tonight, brand new NHL scorers. That game against Montreal. Steve Gottis has the only goal, or did have the only goal. made it 1-0 in the first period. It was his first NHL goal. And Bill Holder scored, give the Capitals a lead against Buffalo. His first goal in the NHL.
Now the Islanders into the Edmonton zone and played the puck back in the net. Kevin Lowe gets to it. Lowe to Muni. Muni with Dale Henry right on top of him, forced him across the goal mouth. Muni dumps it out to center. There's Leiter to Janssen. Janssen to Alan Kerr. Couldn't pick it up again. Lowe does. Played it to the left side. It goes off Janssen's stick and into the seats behind the Islander players' bench.
Something that the Islanders have been able to do here in the third period that they didn't do against the Hartford Whalers was maintain the offensive threat. Lines keep coming over the board, skating, moving the puck ahead, headman the puck. 7:39 of the third period. Alan Kerr scored his 15th to give the Islanders the 3-2 lead. Brent Sutter, he scored in the second period to make the score 2-1 for the Islanders, his 7th goal in 7 games.
Now Sutter trying to get around Messier at center ice has cleared the puck to Alan Kerr, kicked it away from Anderson, and shot it into the Edmonton bench. Play is called and went into the bench and back out onto the ice. 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining in the third period. The Oilers, as we mentioned before, go to Pittsburgh to play on Monday night. They hope to have Wayne Gretzky in their lineup next Friday when they meet the Calgary Flames in that Alberta battle, but it's doubtful that he'll be back by then. Huddy checked in the center ice area. Richard Crom all over him. The puck goes loose. Anderson is checked and Brent Sutter breaks away. Comes over the line on Smith and shot it off. The Edmonton defenseman, Charlie Huddy, clears it outside the line, and there's Crom. The Potvin shot it in high. Huddy reached up and knocked it down. Huddy, a long pass off Simpson. Sutter steps in front of him, and there's Diddick. Slaps it off the glass and out into center ice. Kevin Lowe puts it back into the Islanders zone. Messier comes in with it. Messier holds the puck. Can't make the play. Potvin has it. Danny Potvin up to Trottier. Trottier backhands it off the boards. Muni goes back. We have 68 seconds remaining in the third period, and Craig Simpson went down heavily. The puck hit him in the face. Clearing effort out of the Edmonton zone. Caught him up high. He appears to be okay. Break here at the Coliseum. The Islanders leading the Oilers 3-2. We return to the Coliseum. Now exactly 56 seconds to play in the third period. Fuhr starts out of the net as Curry comes over the blue line and lost the puck. The Islanders fail to clear it out. Krushelnyski hammers one. Rudy the save. Curry goes back to the net. The Edmonton goal is empty. The Oilers with 6 attackers, and Trottier has cleared it into center. It's got a little on it, but not enough to get over the goal line. Well, it did get over the line, but not by the post.
They waved off any icing. Anderson could have touched it. Oh, the Islanders, Dennis Potvin just shot it wide. They felt that Anderson had a chance to move the puck. When he saw it wasn't going to go in, he thought he could get an icing call.
Gerald Diddick at center ice, knocks it loose. Over the line comes Curry to Messier. Messier turns with 13 seconds left. Anderson shot. What a stop by Rudy. It's cleared out by Makela with 8 seconds left. Anderson back. Lost it to Potvin. The fans counting down the last few seconds. The Islanders have defeated the Oilers for the first time since the Stanley Cup Finals of 1984. You would think it was playoff hockey the way the Islanders come back to congratulate Kelly Rudy. The Oiler problems on the road without Wayne Gretzky. In their last 8 games without Wayne away from Edmonton, they're 1-4-3 now. And Alan Kerr's tip-in of Gordonine shot at 7:39 of the third period. It's the winner, and Terry Simpson in the middle of it. The Islander coach out congratulating his team, and a hug for Kelly Rudy.
He recognizes the shot by Anderson at the end of the game was a tying shot. What a stop by Kelly Rudy. His left pad. Watch his left pad here at the last minute. That was labeled. It was on the net. He stretched well out. Made the save. What a stop by Kelly Rudy. We'd be to overtime if it wasn't for that move.
Isn't that the truth? And also the save
that he made on Yari Curry earlier. See the Islanders heading for their dressing room. What a victory. The Islanders over the Edmonton Oilers here before a near-capacity crowd. The Islanders 3, the Oilers 2. We'll be back with a recap following these messages.
Light up the night. When the sun goes down, gonna light up the night. Silver label, red ribbon, taste that's right. Gonna light up the night. Michelob Light. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. Gonna light up the night. My Michelob Light.
The money that you spent on calls to your mother last month, you could have gone to visit her.
Okay, dear. I'll leave tomorrow.
Northwest can fly you to your mom, your aunt, or distant cousins at fares that can make flying cheaper than talking.
For a quality muffler you can afford, come to Meineke.
I'm not going to pay a lot for this muffler.
Don't go broke, go Meineke.
There's plenty of action this week coming up for you on Sports Channel. Monday, the Devils tangle with the Buffalo Sabres. And on Thursday, they take on the hot hand of Mario Lemieux and the Penguins. The Isles clash with Herb Brooks' North Stars on Wednesday and the Sabres on Friday. Then college basketball excitement with VCU at Rutgers Tuesday and Miami versus Providence Wednesday. And the Nets close out the week when they square off with Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls on Friday. As always, don't miss New York Sports Nightly each night of the week as a complete sports wrap-up. It's live and exclusive right here on Sports Channel.
At the Coliseum, it's the Islanders over the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 3-2. Brent Sutter, who had a very strong game for the Islanders tonight, is in our studio with Stan Fischler, so let's join them. Stan?
Thank you, Jiggs. Brent Sutter named the player of the game, and for good reason. You were tireless back and forth, and a very significant goal. First of all, your feeling about the game and its meaning to the team.
Well, it's a big game in a lot of ways for us. You know, we've been struggling of late, and we wanted to come up with a big effort tonight, and we got that from everybody, and that's what we need to win. And you know, beating Edmonton is also, it's been a long time since the Islanders have been able to beat Edmonton, and you know, it's nice in a lot of ways.
Particularly after that you got beaten in Edmonton, there were some cocky remarks made by the Oilers after that game, and I wonder whether you guys heard any of them.
Well, I didn't read any papers. You know, I was just sort of disgusted the way we played, and you know, what guys say, they say. What it comes down to is what you do on the ice, and you know, we played pretty well tonight.
What I thought was very meaningful, Brent, was the way the team hung tough. A couple of calls that went against you, the 5-minute major penalty and the goal that was called back at a time when it looked like it would sew the game up. What about that play? What did the referee say?
Well, the high stick in major, he just simply said that, you know, that we have, you know, they're calling everything where it's uncontrollable with the sticks, and I personally, I didn't think it, you know, it should have been called, but you know, you can't. They make the calls, and you got to live by them. There's nothing you can do. You can't change them. And then on that goal that they called back, you know, they just said Alan Kerr went through the crease and bumped Grant Fear. So you know, if that's the case, then it's not a goal. But you know, I'd still like to see that in film and see what really did happen.
Well, a game like this, a lot of people feel could turn things around for the Islanders because it was a good work effort, but also a good defensive effort. Where do we go from here?
Well, go straight ahead. I mean, there's not, you know, it's a good positive signs tonight, and we just got to continue to build on that. We do that, we're going to be all right. You know, and again, we got a big team effort, and we need that every night, and we got that tonight.
Congratulations, Brent Sutter. A superb game. Jiggs?
All right, Stan, the Islanders snap a 3-game losing streak tonight, defeating the Edmonton Oilers. The final score is 3-2. Shots on goal in the third period by Edmonton, 11, and by the Islanders, 7. So on the night, your shots show the Edmonton Oilers with 28, the New York Islanders with 27. The only goal of the third period is the game winner. It comes at 7:39. Gord Dineen's shot is tipped into the net by Alan Kerr. That's his 15th goal of the season. Kerr from Dineen at 7:39. There was only one penalty in the period, that to Alan Kerr for interference after Brent Sutter had put the puck in the net. Actually, Kerr had bumped the goaltender before the puck went in. The Islanders thought they had a 4-2 lead. Instead, they're a man short. Edmonton unsuccessful on that power play. Both their goals tonight with the extra man. But the final is the Islanders over the Oilers, 3-2, And as Brent said, it's forward from here, but that is a big 2 points that the Islanders put in the column tonight.
It's as big a 2 points as they've had all season. I'm sure of that at this point, because what they really needed was what they got tonight. I think what they've got is a work ethic. Brent Sutter alluded to that particular fact. There wasn't anybody on the team that wasn't willing to go out and work their hardest. Derek King had quite a game for